Welcome to the first night of the first network for the next century. UPN.
It's once again time, Alex, to start a brand new chapter, a brand new series in our Star Trek journey, and this time it is Star Trek Voyager.
That's scary to think about. This is our 5th time doing this, if you're counting TAS, which is nuts, and now I'm trying to think of the headspace of the excitement. I think TOS was kind of, oh, let's check this out. TNG was, we're finally here. TAS was, oh, I didn't know this existed. Deep Space Nine is, I don't know what to expect. And this, what's your headspace right now in terms of just starting a brand new 7-season adventure?
I think this is the first series we're starting where I'm really excited because I love Star Trek. Not even necessarily anything to do with what the series is going to be, but TOS had never seen Star Trek. TNG, you were excited for it the whole time, as was I, but all we knew was TOS. Deep Space Nine, I had already known this is going to be completely different. But here, all I know is that this is a Star Trek show, and I'm just so excited to watch a new Star Trek show, especially only a couple of months. We're still in the grieving period of TNG being over, and they said back in the 90s, you don't got to grieve too long, because next January 1995, the year both of us were born, this show premiered on UPN, and I'm really excited to watch it. I'm excited to figure out who is Captain Janeway, what's her story, who is on this crew, who is going to be my favorite of that crew, and what is the show all about.
Yeah, I just love that, for the most part, just going in completely blind. I only know of 2 characters that exist, and besides that, I know not a single plot line, not a single storyline, not a single event, not a single character. What the ship even looks like, I have no idea. I didn't even look that closely at the box set of what the ship looks like. And we were talking in the pre-series discussion, is this the new flagship? Where in continuity does this take place? It's so weird being on the opposite end. When I remember we were sitting here watching the TNG series finale and going, oh my God, it's over. And now it's like a phoenix, like reborn. We're back, we're beginning again, but in a brand new setting. It's crazy.
Yes, and if you are new here because you are a Voyager fan, or you've been on the YouTube the whole time and are on Patreon now, a little bit about us. We love Star Trek. We love it deeply. But we also love film and TV. And we watch everything, including Star Trek, especially Star Trek, under that lens. So do we like premises? Do we like sci-fi stuff? Absolutely. But we are here watching this as a TV show, first and foremost. And with that comes a lot of discussion about direction, writing, lighting, staging, cinematography, all of these things. Acting being a big one. And also with that comes a lot of jokes, meta, fourth wall jokes about them making a TV show and not necessarily being fully talking about only the story within it in terms of in-universe. We talk about that too. But overall, we aren't typical reactors in that sense, and that's not for everyone, and that's totally fine. But just keep that in mind when we're making jokes or we're making fun of certain things. It doesn't mean that we don't like it. A lot of the time, you can't tell if we like it or not until our discussion, because we react pretty similarly for most episodes in that way. But overall, we've watched over 300 episodes of Star Trek, 7 movies, and we don't love it all, obviously. Some of it we don't like at all. But as a franchise, we really love it. And I think regardless of where this show ends up ranking for us, even if it were at the bottom, which I hope it doesn't, but even if we're at the bottom, that means because every other show is that great. It doesn't mean that this show is bad. So I'm going in open-minded. I'm going in really hoping to enjoy the whole show. But specifically, Alex, let's be honest. This premiere, we're not a fan of pilots, and we're not a fan of premieres. One of the reasons TOS hooked us so much is because it just dropped us in with a random episode, and they said, you figure it out.
Yeah.
TNG, Deep Space Nine, they all had 2-part 90-minute pilots that we didn't love, and now we're having another 90-minute pilot here that I'm sure isn't going to be, oh, this crew was already all on the Voyager for 8 months. I'm sure we're going to get introduced to everyone here, and that's not inherently bad, but I feel as if we don't love this, it could be because of that reason, not because we don't love what we see.
Right. But we're going to give it a chance. Star Trek is family. I like some of my family members. I don't like some of my family members, but I love my family. So,
yeah,
and I love Star Trek.
It kind of applies to all of you as well. All right. Are you ready to get started on Voyager?
I'm ready, but really quick, I just want to show this. My work buddy, if you don't know, I had a work buddy who spoiled Scotty in Relics in TNG, but he made up for it. He 3D printed this little bottle opener with me on there. And it says he boldly goes where no one has gone before, and there's my name. Isn't that pretty neat? Okay, thank you, Scott. This is sick.
And lastly, I just wanted to, real quick, we had just posted a short on Patreon and YouTube saying that we're about to watch the show, and we talked about this in our pre-episode discussion, but I got to bring it up just because it's so interesting to me. Just a few of the comments we've gotten. So just for example, S-Trek Online, as the series that hooked me on Trek and still ranks as my personal favorite, I've been looking forward to Voyager on target audience for years. Then we have Eric Trailer. Let's go. I'm actually really excited. I will say again, Voyager is my favorite Star Trek series, and I hope you guys like it at least a little bit. I hope we do as well. And then one more shout out from Elizabeth N., who has been a patron of ours since our very first month, way back in TOS, and has been a patron the whole time, says, I'm not sure if you'll love it or not, but Voyager is my personal favorite. Been waiting for this ever since you were still watching TOS.
Wow.
So, are we going to love the whole thing? I'm sure not. But with that many people who have been with us already through our journey, not coming on just because they're Voyager fans, but already have been here that are excited for this, I think the show's going to be good. I hope so.
I think so, and especially if they're commenting that, and especially those who have been there for so long and have kind of curated and realized how we think and talk about things. It gives me a little hope that we're going to like this show.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's enough stalling, Alex. You ready to get jumping in?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Oh, no. Strike one.
Okay, they're banded together, calling themselves Maquis. They continue to fight the Cardassians.
Okay, so already some connection.
Some conservative terms, but the governments of the Federation of Cardassian outlaws.
I didn't expect just straight up connection already, and that's a Cardassian ship, isn't it?
Damage report. Shields at 60%.
I can't get any more out of it.
Be creative.
Be creative.
What is she, a 10th Klingon?
This is Gully Vec of the Cardassian.
Oh my god, it's Gold.
What?
Initiating evasive pattern Omega.
How about saying damn it in the first 4 seconds of your show?
Hey, it's the 90s. And that's Tim Russ, by the way. He was just in Star Trek Generations.
Oh.
Firing photon.
Yeah, that don't look too bad.
Yeah.
Not as good. There's the 90s special effects.
Gully Vec must feel daring today.
Don't kill Golovec.
Maximum power. Wave is continuing to accelerate. It will intercept us in 8 seconds.
They're all dead.
I'm liking it already.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, we're gonna see all the characters' names. Okay. Checker Ray. And this must be the Voyager ship here.
Tom Paris. I already forgot all of them. Oh, Robert Picardo.
Oh, you know him?
He was in Total Recall. He was the Johnny Cab.
Oh wow, Jerry Taylor got
Taylor.
that created by credit. I like the theme. I mean, it still doesn't have that drop, I feel like.
It started off hot.
Yeah, it was good. No captain's log, still.
Tom Paris. Catherine Janeway.
There's a shot.
Your father taught me a great deal. I was a science officer during the Arias expedition. I'm leaving on a mission to find a Maquis ship.
I wouldn't if I were you.
Really?
Hey, Quark's here.
I was only with the Maquis a few weeks before I was captured, Captain. I don't know where most of their hiding places are. Maybe it's just your chief of security who's disappeared.
David Livingston on there?
Under the
Oh
command of
boy.
another
Whoa,
former
everybody's
Starfleet
on board here.
officer.
The people who created the show. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
I understand you knew him.
Hey, Colby.
Chakotay will tell you he left Starfleet on principle. I, on the other hand, was forced to resign.
Officially, you'd be a Starfleet observer during the mission.
Observer?
When it's over, you're cut loose.
Interesting. Marvin Rush was DP. I'm pretty sure that was the DP for like season 3 on of TNG before Jonathan West took over at the end.
Oh,
So they brought him back.
brought him back.
Stoddy, you're changing my mind about Betazoids.
Oh!
Do you always fly at women at warp speed, Mr. Paris?
Only when they're in visual range.
He looks like the kid from First Duty.
That's because it is.
Oh,
But not the same character.
really?
He was Nicolette Carno, I think, in First Duty. I knew that, unfortunately.
Why would they? Whatever.
Here we are. Wow. You're here at the station. So we go from Old Bones to Picard to Quark.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
74656. That's going to be... Hey! What, Morn doesn't get a credit?
Low-bi crystals from a very strange creature called a Morn. We were warned about the Ferengi at the Academy.
Somebody's gonna hear about this. What's your name, son?
Kim, Harry Kim, but I...
And who was it at the academy who warned you about Ferengi?
You know, I think a memento for my parents would be a great idea. Cash or credit?
Dazzling, aren't they? There's a shop at the Volnar colony that sells a dozen assorted shapes for 1 Cardassian leg. How much are you selling these for?
We were just about to negotiate the price.
Thanks.
Didn't they warn you about Ferengi at the Academy?
You know, I totally not realized how familiar already the Quark's Bar Dabo sounds, or, you know, the gambling
Yeah,
sounds in
yeah.
the background. When I heard it, I'm like, oh.
Can I help you?
Tom Paris reporting on board.
Oh, yes. The Observer.
It's the guy from The Hunted. Everyone's in this show.
Oh yeah.
I was a surgeon at the hospital on Caldex Prime, same time you were stationed there.
The show of one-off guest character recasts.
It's a long story, Harry, and I'm tired of telling it. I'm sure someone around here will tell you before long.
Everyone deserves a second chance, even though they did nothing wrong.
Well, I can't leave her in a kennel while I'm...
Is this another love me, love my dog demand?
Yes.
How could I ever refuse you?
Thanks, honey.
Oh, is she married?
Come in.
Vulnerable with the husband as soon as it's over. Captain.
Welcome aboard, Voyager.
Thank you, sir.
At ease before you sprain something.
Yeah.
I don't like being addressed as sir.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Ma'am is acceptable in a crunch, but I prefer captain.
Oh, they got the DS9-esque uniforms here.
Lieutenant Commander Cavett, Ensign Kim, Mr. Paris.
Welcome aboard.
That's the guy from Inner Light.
Dude, this is crazy. They brought back the whole roster.
Would you like to take over?
Yes, ma'am.
It's not crunch time yet, Mr. Kim. I'll let you know when.
Ooh.
Oh. You're fired.
Lieutenant Stoddy, lay in the course and clear our departure with operations.
Course entered. Ops has cleared us.
I wonder if she's a full Betazoid. Could she read everyone's mind?
Initiate launching sequence.
Sequence underway.
I just
Engage.
realized reusing these actors is the same thing in pro wrestling as like bringing in someone to do
A new gimmick.
a new gimmick or a job match or someone like, oh, you're a lawyer in this segment, and then you bring him on as an actual Starfleet. It's great. Oh, it's great. Oh, see you guys later. Good seeing you.
Bye, Quark.
Got a little mess hall.
Tomato soup.
Specify hot or chilled.
Hot.
Who wants chilled soup? Bro, I think that was Majel Barrett.
Wait, she's the voice of the Enterprise computer?
No way.
I mean the
all of Starfleet.
Voyager, come here.
Is it true?
Was the accident my fault? Yes.
But then you came forward and you admitted that it was your fault?
The ghosts of those 3 dead officers came to me in the middle of the night and taught me the true meaning of Christmas. So I confessed. I went out looking for a fight and found the Maquis. And on my first assignment, I was caught.
Are you sure he's playing a different character?
Yeah. The comments on that episode talked about how it could basically be a prequel for his character.
I know those guys told you to stay away from me, and you know what? You ought to listen to them.
He's playing the exact same person.
I don't need anyone to choose my friends for me.
Janeway to Paris.
Go ahead.
Report to the bridge. We're approaching the Badlands.
I think in that episode, Nick Locarno got basically like banished from Starfleet or whatever, so they were like, oh, we'll just make him a new character. They obviously didn't forget, like they knew, you know, they know all these actors.
Right, yeah.
So
I'd guess they were trying to get to one of the M-class planetoids in the Terekov belt.
That's beyond the Mariah system.
Fucking face of the enemy.
oh, yeah. That was a good catch.
I'd recognize that stone jaw anywhere.
Red alert. Move us away from it, Lieutenant.
New heading for 1 Mark 180.
I love good red alert lighting.
5 seconds.
Brace for impact.
3.
Oh! I feel like he's been in the show too before. Can't place it though.
That was the inner light guy.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So I'm gonna guess they went wherever the first ship went to.
Oh, okay, and then they like find those people? Oh yeah, I already forgotten about that, honestly. Because at first when we got into the intro, I'm like, why is this all of a sudden not the Voyager ship? But I guess they'll connect. Oh.
Oh, they killed him?
Are they going to kill off all of the recast actors?
Bridge to sickbay. Doctor, can you hear me? Paris, how's static?
Oh no!
She's dead.
Damn it!
What the hell?
It's a crystalline entity.
We're over 70,000 light years from where we were. We're on the other side of the galaxy.
Well, damn. That sucks, man. Got the Betazoid for one scene.
Her and all the other recurring actors from the previous stuff. I think they literally all died.
Engineering to bridge. We have severe damage. The chief's dead. Possibility of a warp core breach.
Damn. Did we even meet the engineer?
Mr. Rollins, the bridge is yours.
Aye, Captain.
Paris, why are you doing anything? You're an observer. First day, first mission, ship's destroyed.
Well, for these guys, but I think I was wrong. It sounds like they've been on this on the ship for a while.
Oh, maybe first for Kim, yeah.
Yeah. For like Janeway in the hook was like, you haven't been on the Voyager, like acting as if it's been her ship for a while. I wonder how long she's been here.
Yeah, I guess I mean more in the sense of first episode of the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Warp core microfracture. Breach imminent.
Well, I guess the ship's gonna blow up.
Computer, initiate emergency medical holographic program.
Oh. There he is.
Status of your doctor? He's dead.
There you go.
How soon are replacement medical personnel expected?
So he's a hologram of a doctor.
Oh.
That's why his name is the Doctor.
Ah.
Medical tricorder.
I didn't know they were different.
There's no need for concern. I am capable of treating any injury or disease. No concussion, you'll be fine. Clean him up.
That's a fascinating idea. A holographic doctor?
Yeah. And he was only designed for short-term emergencies, so like does he have to go away? Like does he run out of battery or something?
Initiate emergency lock-off.
Oh boy.
Is this big thing outside all beaming them all away?
You're not seriously hurt. You can return to your station.
Oh. Probably won't happen to him though.
Yeah, I guess not.
I believe someone has failed to terminate my program. Please respond.
Like the light flashing there on him there from the lights going out.
Yeah.
Oh, they've all been flashed over to the Kindred community from X-Files.
I have a pitcher of lemonade and some sugar cookies.
What the hell?
Captain?
Don't believe your eyes, Mr. Paris. We've only transported 100 kilometers. We are inside the array.
Good to see you. Welcome.
Well, very TOS-esque in this sense.
And why does every Star Trek premiere have to have some like weird, you know, like encounter Farpoint to get taken to Q's trial? Deep Space Nine, the stuff with the Bajorans and the, you know, dream sequence and stuff, and out here they're on this weird planet.
Or whatever's in this array.
Have some nice fresh corn on the cob.
Oh, I'd love some corn on the cob.
Hey, let me show you around. The root cellar's right over there.
Paris, she's only a hologram.
No reason to be rude.
There's a life form here. Just one.
Where?
It's everywhere.
I'm not ready for you yet.
Paris to Janeway.
Oh!
Very well. Since no one seems to care for any corn, we'll have to proceed ahead of schedule.
Oh God, are those the crew members? From the other ship?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
All right, Colby.
Yeah, really good. Nice, just enough to reveal the forehead ridge and the little design on his forehead.
Damn. Well, game over. Almost like an alien abduction type plot.
Oh.
That's not good.
How long were we over there?
Almost 3 days.
3 days.
Oh, he survived.
That's good.
The Maquis ship is powering up its engines.
Track to them. All senior officers report to the bridge immediately.
The Maquis ship is still there?
Computer, locate Ensign Kim.
Ensign Kim is not on board.
Computer, how many crewmen are unaccounted for?
1, Ensign Harry Kim.
Commander Chakotay, one of our crewmen is missing.
A member of our crew is missing too. Belana Torres, my engineer.
Commander, you and I have the same problem. I think it makes sense to try and solve it together, don't you?
No.
We'll be going our own way.
We'll transport to your ship.
They're powering down their engines, dropping their shields.
Mr. Worf?
Did that guy even have a crew?
Watch out, Captain, they're armed.
Was it just them?
Put down your weapons.
Probably not a lot.
You won't need those here.
Watch out, Captain, they're armed. Yeah, I'm right in front of them. I can see.
I must inform you that I was assigned to infiltrate your crew, sir. I am Captain Janeway's chief of security.
Oh!
Were you going to deliver us into their waiting hands?
Accumulate information on Maquis activities, and then deliver you into their waiting hands. That is correct.
It's the guy who went missing.
I would suggest he scanned our computers in order to select a comfortable holographic environment. In effect, a waiting room.
A Vulcan chief of security. How interesting.
Look at that gun.
Damn.
Usually in Starfleet, all the weapons are just one-handers.
Yeah.
Oh, why have you come back? You don't have what I need.
I don't know what you need, and frankly, I don't care.
Oh, well, aren't you contentious for a minor bipedal species? Sending you back is terribly complicated. Don't you understand? I don't have time.
That's you.
He's regaining consciousness.
my God.
Is everyone in this?
The drumhead Betazoid.
Yeah.
Please don't try to move yet. You're very ill.
Ill? No, there's some mistake. I'm not.
Oh my God, do they switch bodies? Wait.
Oh.
Oh, she lived. Thank God. Yeah. Double fist.
Come on, Harry, help her. Come on. A random shot.
Yeah. Harry, wake up.
Kim's mother called me just after he left Earth. He'd left his clarinet behind. Do you know he played the clarinet in the Juilliard Youth Symphony? I barely knew him. I never seemed to have the chance to get to know any of them. I have to take more time to do that. It's a fine crew, and I've got to get them home.
The crew will not benefit from the leadership of an exhausted captain.
You're right, as usual. I spoke to your family before I left, but worried about you.
That would not be an accurate perception, Captain.
They miss you.
As I do them.
I'll get you back to them. That's a promise, Tuvok.
I hope these two are the 1 and 2. I really like them.
Yeah, and great scene, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they're not afraid because she was a woman to be like, oh, we can't show her be, vulnerable or emotional. I'm glad that we're seeing that right away.
Yeah.
It's like, Stonewall Picard was great, but, it's nice to have something different.
Mm-hmm. It's okay to be vulnerable in front of the right people, but also put on the captain's face.
Mhm.
And I love seeing that.
Whoever you are.
We're not interested in this debris, Mr.
Neelix. You were wished away from somewhere else.
Sounds as though you've heard this story before.
Thousands of times. Well, hundreds of times. Maybe 50 times. I really wish that I could help you. I do, but as you can see, there's so much debris.
What species is bro?
Unless, of course, you had water.
No.
Water.
Just weed.
We have a technology which can take you instantly from your ship to ours. It's quite harmless. May we?
That was very funny. He's like waiting for it. Oh, that was good.
Oh, looks a little fancy.
Perhaps you would care for a bath.
A what?
Well, there's our Quark.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's the other character, like the not unknown, but like the, obviously Quark is a Ferengi, but like the new species.
Who are you?
My name is Kim.
You were trying to capture us.
Yeah. Consider yourself captured. Oh, I know I have a phaser here somewhere. Hey! Hey, what's that going to accomplish?
What are they doing to us? What are these things growing on us?
Do you want them to sedate you again?
It's a Klingon half of me.
That's only half?
It's a pretty dominant human half.
Yeah.
Bridges are barely formed.
What's your name, Mucky?
Worf.
Belana. Belana Torres.
I've brought some clothes if you care to change.
Why are you holding us here?
The caretaker has sent you to us.
What are these things?
We really don't know. You must be hungry. Would you care to join me on the courtyard for a meal?
Where I can get to know you and then use that against you in a court of law?
She looks like Linda Carlin. I know it's not her, obviously.
We're underground.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Please forgive them. They know you've come from the Caretaker. None of us has ever seen him.
How odd. What's up with these mask gimmicks?
There have been others? Like us?
Yes. Your condition is serious.
They're dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid the others did not recover.
It's called coronavirus. God damn.
It's called COVID-19. Oh, that's why they were wearing the masks?
Mm. But they were masks like boomers just down here.
Yeah, they didn't know how to wear it. Known as the heart to tell them.
I like these hallways. Like very metallic.
Yeah, it's a very interesting look all around. Because it's like not quite as bright and colorful as the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Very grayscale. 90s modern.
Likes that water.
I mean, the Enterprise was, originally, in real life, obviously, Enterprise D designed in the 80s, so I guess it makes sense to be updated for the 90s.
Now, Neelix was in the credits, I think, so you think these two are going to be our Quark and Odo?
Yeah, I could see that to be dynamic.
We need your assistance.
Oh, could you hand me the towel?
Oh. As if they're going to show us.
Do these replicators make clothing as well?
Yes.
Will it make me a uniform like yours?
No, it most certainly will not.
And his name was Tuvok?
Tuvok, yeah.
Okay.
He's a pretty good Vulcan.
Oh, yeah, he's been great, yeah. Just trying to remember everyone's names.
I like these beam effects. I'm a Toydalian. Jedi mind tricks don't work on me.
Look at that suit.
Yeah.
He got a comm badge.
He did.
The Kazon Ogla. Who are the Kazon Ogla?
They are. Kazon sects control this part of the quadrant. My friends, it's good to see you again.
Oh, well.
Oh, come on, Janeway. Just gonna let it...
Ever-wise Jabin.
Probably screwed them over in the past.
Yep.
I have water to replace all that I borrowed.
This man led us here suggesting we might find a people called the Okampa.
Who are you?
She is Okampa. Why would you be interested in such worthless creatures? They live only 9 years.
9 years?
Tell them to drop their weapons.
What? Come on, Neelix.
Oh, you fucking motherfucker.
I strongly suggest you get us out of here.
6 to beam up.
I mean, I feel like we could have persuaded the guy not to...
Yeah.
That we didn't need to give him the technology.
I mean, yeah. Obviously, they weren't going to give him the technology for sure, but yeah, you could have been like, okay, well...
Didn't I promise I'd save you?
Oh! All right, now it makes more sense.
Oh, man. What a tangled web we weave here. So where's Spock?
Everyone except my patient is to leave immediately.
Computer, end medical holographic program.
Oh, damn.
There are breaches in the security barrier where it's begun to decay. That's how I got out.
Are all these people going to be on the show? Like, you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like...
I'm trying to remember whose name was in the credits.
Yeah.
Cass,
Hello, Dagon.
we thought we'd never see you again.
Seems like there's a lot of them.
I thought for sure she'd just be in this episode, but I'm pretty sure I remember Kess being in the opening credits.
She was, yeah.
I can't believe that our caretaker would forbid us to open our eyes and see the sky. Come with me, we'll find your people.
Can you imagine if they put all these guest actors in the opening credits? There's so many people in this episode.
But it's like the opening credits didn't feel like they had a ton of people. Like, it has to be, what, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7?
Yeah, I think after the main intro, there's maybe a couple.
Come on.
I mean, so we got these two, Harry and, what was her name? Belina?
Her last name's Torres, I know. Yeah, Belina Torres or something.
And then Janeway, Tuvok,
Neelix,
Cass, the Doctor. That's 7. Was that it?
Paris.
So 8, I guess.
You know, I spent my whole life getting ready for Starfleet.
And on my very first mission, I'm gonna die.
I know a few things that old Sneezy didn't teach in his survival course.
Sneezy?
Remember?
You went to the academy.
Actually made it into the second year before we mutually agreed that it wasn't the place for me.
Wow.
Listen, they're getting faster.
It's really fast now.
Must be getting close to finishing.
Nope.
Oh my god, they entered a mall.
They have an escalator.
The array is firing some kind of weapon at the surface. It seems to be trying to seal the energy conduits.
Didn't we say with that guy who was in Facing the Enemy? Wasn't he also in... Was it Captain Pursuit? Was he the guy? Tosk?
Yeah.
Wow.
I knew he was in an episode of Deep Space Nine.
Paris to Janeway.
Go ahead.
We found them, Captain.
Don't wait for us. Get them to safety.
Don't worry, I'm killing the Klingon. No, we didn't.
And we're in the same room.
Don't worry. I know we can get through the barrier.
Who the fuck are you?
Get off me, bitch. Sorry, that was my Klingon anger.
Whatever you do, don't touch it. We've been told it'll burn your skin off.
But as a child at heart, my first instinct would be, of course, to touch it.
Yep.
So the species only lives for 9 years. I wonder how old she is. Maybe she's 2 and 7 years.
Let's hope she's not more than 2.
Yeah.
Get down!
Oh god. The caretaker's like, you're not going anywhere.
Voyager, prepare to transport everyone in this group except me.
Aye, sir.
That's where it makes his heroic redemption.
The fool needs company. Take care of them, dearest. I'll see you later.
Oh, nice. Good for Neelix.
Neelix, help me with Tuvok.
I'll get you Chakotay.
Oh, and he's my key guy. Oh. Captain on the bridge. Bridge on the captain.
We'll both die.
Yeah? But on the other hand, if I save your butt, your life belongs to me. Isn't that some kind of Indian custom?
Wrong tribe.
Isn't there some Indian trick where you can turn yourself into a bird and fly us out of here?
Tom, you are deeply racist. Nice.
I strongly advise you to rest. I will not be held responsible for the consequences.
Not be held responsible. He's just a hologram. Like, what do you want?
Doesn't anyone know how to turn off the program when they leave?
I love that he can't turn himself off.
I wonder if it's one of those, like those things from Rick and Morty, where existence is pain. I don't like being on.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
I think he's my favorite character.
Fire phasers. Evasive pattern Delta 4.
Oh. Kind of like how the Enterprise had the things that went like this had it on each side, like individually.
Mr. Paris, take the comm.
Yes, ma'am.
Crunch time.
Oh, yeah, nice.
The data processing system is behind this wall, Captain.
You know what to do.
Earlier you were like, oh, I hope they're the 1 and 2. Made me think, is there no number 1? There's no first officer, right?
Yeah, I just wonder what the size and scale of this ship is. Where do you even need an official number 1?
We need you to send us back where we came from.
That isn't possible. Huh? 2 of us were chosen to stay behind and care for them. She went off to look for more interesting places.
You've been trying to procreate?
I needed someone to replace me.
So you're still killing them?
Caring for the Okompa. Only my offspring could do that.
Bro is Ego from Guardians 2.
Did you ever consider allowing the Okompa to care for themselves?
They're children.
Children have to grow up. It's the challenge of surviving on their own that helps them to evolve.
Voyager to Janeway.
Go ahead.
We've got problems here.
Oh! What a way to take a header, brother. Jesus.
I'm setting a collision course, but the guidance system is disabled. I'll have to pilot the ship manually. Tell one of your crackerjack Starfleet transporter chiefs to keep a lock on me.
Crackerjack. Nice. Oh, that was sweet. That was pretty sweet.
Transporter room 2, do you have him?
They've got me.
Nice. That was a nice little moment. I want to know about her. Who was that? I mean, that was like...
That's their chief.
That's like level O'Brien levels of fucking clutch.
Yeah.
I have initiated a self-destruct program.
If you destroy the array, we'll have no way to get home.
This guy has been no help to anyone. That's not good.
Oh, it's all coming apart.
Nice effects here.
Yeah.
It's all essentially like a holodeck.
The Caretaker?
Oh.
They will annihilate the Ocampa.
Shall I activate the program to get us back?
And what happens to the Ocampa after we're gone?
Any action we take to protect the Ocampa would affect the balance of power in this system. Prime directive would seem to apply.
We never asked to be involved, Tuvok. But we are. We are.
The Ocampa are the people underground, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have called for additional ships.
I love how this guy looks.
I intend to destroy the array.
You can't do that.
I can, and I will. End transmission.
That array is the only way we have to get back home.
I'm aware everyone has families and loved ones. So do I. But I'm not willing to trade the lives of the Ocampa.
Who is she to be making these decisions for all of us?
She's the captain.
Yeah.
Hey. Even the Maquis guy understands.
Mm-hmm.
Fire.
Damn. Just 2 shots. Boom.
Nice. It's pretty badass.
You have made an enemy today.
So they're supposed to be like the new species villain for this series?
I doubt it.
I mean, it was pretty clear, like, you made an enemy.
But like maybe like a recurring every once in a while.
Yeah.
I've invited Chakotay and the other Maquis to become part of this crew. Mr. Chakotay said something about his life belonging to you.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to enjoy this.
Don't be so sure. He'll also be my first officer.
Oh, there you go.
I've entered into the ship's log on this date that I'm granting a field commission of lieutenant to Thomas Eugene Paris.
Eugene!
Congratulations.
For the first time in my life, I don't know what to say.
I'm only sorry your father won't know.
Oh, he'll know. When we get back.
We'd like to go with you. We'd be valuable colleagues.
Colleagues.
But you need a guide. I'm your guide. You need supplies. I know where to procure them. You need a cook. Oh, you haven't lived until you've tasted my Angla Basque.
Do they need a cook?
Captain, we both want very much to be a part of your journey.
Oh, there she is in the uniform. She's security?
Both crews are going to have to work together if we're to survive. That's why Commander Chakotay and I have agreed that this should be one crew, a Starfleet crew. We'll continue to follow our directive, to seek out new worlds and explore space. But our primary goal is clear. Even at maximum speeds, it would take 75 years to reach the Federation. And we'll be looking for wormholes, spatial rifts, or new technologies to help us. Somewhere along this journey, we'll find a way back. Mr. Paris, set a course for home.
Aye, Captain.
Go.
Let's fucking go, dude.
Got a little bit of goosebumps
I
there at
got,
the end, yeah.
I got, dude, goosebumps out the ass. Fuck.
Good
Wow.
speech.
Woo.
Good speech.
Oh, there they all are. Oh, jeez.
So that's why the crew's so big, because they're... Well, again, I don't know how much of a crew this guy had.
Yeah.
There was a guy on his ship. They only beamed over 3 people.
Right.
But, yeah, wow, okay, well.
Solid. Fucking solid.
We're going to talk about it. Well, we just watched the premiere episode of Voyager, Caretaker. Now, if you're new here, after every single reaction, we do a long, in-depth discussion, raw, right after we just got up from watching it on the other side of the room. And before we get into our discussion, and later, our patrons' takes about the episode, we start with a whiteboard reaction. Now, this is just, kind of think of it like a newspaper headline. Just, it can be a letter grade, it can be anything we want that describes our initial reaction right after watching it. You gonna go first or second?
Yeah, I'll go first. Best 90-minute Star Trek pilot? Maybe.
It's interesting you say that, Alex. I went similarly with it in terms of comparing it. So I have written out right now the 3 Star Trek premieres before this one. Now, not really a premiere, but I have the best one is obviously The Man Trap. And then I have Encounter at Farpoint and Emissary down here. Now, I have Encounter at Farpoint a little bit above it. I slightly do prefer it, but honestly, they're pretty close to each other in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I would put Caretaker about right there. It didn't give me that insane magical feeling of watching The Man Trap, but I don't think anything else ever will.
No.
But when it comes to, like you said, the 90-minute premieres, I do think I enjoyed this one the most on a first watch.
Yeah, I don't think anything's going to top The Man Trap in terms of what the start of... I mean, it's just literally the start of Star Trek, really. I mean, I know the whole Cage and other things are filmed before, but in terms of what we saw first, The Man Trap... I mean, the Man Trap... The Man Trap, literally all of this, and I think this episode, it was a lot. I think it took the best parts that we liked from Emissary and Encounter at Farpoint and put them in this. I saw a lot of similarities in both in terms of species that are beyond comprehension doing this that we don't completely understand. Misfit crews coming together, kind of like in Deep Space Nine. The people from left over from Terek Nor and the Bajor and Starfleet people felt very similar in that sense. And just that feeling of hope and adventure and that ending speech with Janeway. I was like, Dwayne Johnson, I was like, holy fuck, It's like, bringing all these people together, going on an adventure, but we're going home. And there's so many just wonderful moments in this episode. And how about, I mean, I'm jumping all over the place, but just overall, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. I will say, I went into it saying, hey, it's a 90-minute premiere. Those usually aren't our favorites. And this did the same thing that those other ones did that make it tough in terms of being a favorite, because all 3 of them have felt as if, yes, we're doing a premiere of the show and we want you to get to know these characters, so that's going to be roughly half of it. But then we also feel like we still need to do a one-off sci-fi story, and that's going to be half of it. And in all 3 of it, the one-off sci-fi story is the weaker part of it. Like the Farpoint stuff / Q stuff in Encounter at Farpoint, the Prophet stuff in Emissary, and then this here with the Caretaker, are all just fine episodes of Star Trek if they were just their own one-off episode. I will give Emissary the credit that at least that thematically ties in with Deep Space Nine in terms of the Prophets and Bajor and all that. But the other side of it, the getting to know these characters, I think this one probably did it the best, especially with Janeway. I mean, if you're talking just captains/commanders, Sisko and Picard were not the strengths of those episodes. I know that in Emissary they tried to give Sisko a very big emotional story for us that didn't really hit, not knowing where his story went. But I thought that Kate Mulgrew is her name, I believe, and we're going to go through all the characters that we met. But she did a great job here, and I thought they wrote her perfectly. The writing is Michael Piller, Rick Berman, and Jerry Taylor. Awesome that Jerry Taylor, she is one of the two names that I assumed would be associated here from past Star Trek people. And I thought the writing for her was great. I love the fact that we're already diving into her as a person and not just a captain. But to hit on what you said there, the ending, I think, was the strength of this one. By the end of the episode, I felt as if, okay, now we're ready for the show. And I mean, Picard had that similar, I'm sure there's more interesting stuff out there, engaged, and that was fine.
Let's see what's out there.
Yeah, and that's fine.
But this was like, let's fucking go. Like,
yeah.
We were put together by this circumstance. We're 70 million light years. I didn't even think about that. And the whole crew, the entire time was getting back to Earth. I think that's great. But sorry, go on.
Yeah, well, I agree. And what I did know when I spoke in our pre-series discussion is I knew the gimmick of this show was that for whatever reason, somehow they are disconnected from everything else. So I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know it was 70 million light years or if they got put in another dimension or if I didn't know what happened. Mm-hmm. But I knew that basically the gimmick of the show is like there is no Starfleet, there is no Federation, it's just you. And I thought that was really appealing in the sense of one of my favorite things about TOS is even though there was Starfleet in the Federation, that show feels as if the original Enterprise is just like, you're just out there, good luck. And that's kind of the premise of this. But what I really loved about that ending was TOS and TNG is, let's see what's out there. And here it's like, yeah, we're still going to explore, but let's get home. It's like reversing the project.
Yeah.
It's like subverting it. And that's really awesome. Now, are they ever going to get home? If they do, probably not until the very end, because then the show would be over. So it's like, I'm not going into episode 2 thinking, if they go into episode 2, this could get us home. It's like, it's not, would be my guess.
Okay.
But that aside, like, that's any TV show. It's like, Phil of the future. He's not going to get back to the future until the end. It's like, that's the conceit of the show. So that aside, I'm sure that might become an issue in future episodes. But that aside, I love this idea of whatever that episodic thing is going to be, we're still going home. Dude, it's original Battlestar Galactica too, in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, that's
right. On a course to home. Kind of the same thing.
What if every episode ends with Janeway saying something similar? That was a crazy encounter we had with that one alien species, but we need to make our way back home to Earth.
Yeah, but I love it in the sense that it's like, all right, course the, make the course to this system, wherever, engage, but here it's, all right, course home. Whatever they just dealt with, now we're back on our way home, but it is funny, I just thought of that now. At the end of, if you go watch our original Battlestar Galactica reactions on Patreon, at the end of every episode, regardless of the plot, finding a course home. It's like, oh yeah, we're still going home. We might have a similar thing here.
Oh, so, okay, completely separate from everything. So I find it hilarious that Quark was our send-off. Bones sent off to the Enterprise D. In a counter at Farpoint, we have Quark to send off the fucking Voyager. That's amazing. It makes me wonder, okay, are they going to, I don't know if you know this, or if anything.
I know nothing beyond
that. Nothing. So is it truly going to be strictly separate from everything else?
That's my assumption.
We're in the Alpha Quadrant, I think they said.
I think
Delta.
She said the Delta. So my understanding is our quadrant is the Alpha Quadrant.
Okay.
The Gamma Quadrant is where the wormhole goes.
Yep.
So this is the Delta. So I think this is another just completely unknown quadrant.
Great. Wonderful.
With no known wormhole. I did like the appreciation. I appreciated the mention already of the wormhole. That wasn't something they were just going to ignore. I know it's not their wormhole, but the idea that there could be others.
Wormholes,
Obviously, they've heard about the Gamma Quadrant wormhole. And boy, was I wrong about... I thought this was going to be like kind of like Encounter at Farpoint in terms of I've just taken, command of the ship. I thought we were even going to go before that. Like, I thought it was going to be, we've just commissioned this new ship. Here, it's yours, Janeway. Like, you're a captain now. But no, she's a pretty experienced captain, obviously. I don't know the exact, timeline of that. And I was wrong about that. I was also wrong about The connection opening up with the Maquis and Cardassian mention. Obviously, I don't like a text crawl. That's, a thing with me, but it was fine.
They got through it really quick.
Plus, I know this universe. It's not like watching a sci-fi movie where you know nothing and then you have to learn about the whole universe. It's like I know what they're saying. It's for people who haven't watched Deep Space Nine, maybe haven't watched TNG for the most part.
Yeah, maybe if they're checking this out for the first time, would literally have no idea what's going on. But if we watch this, we could put together through dialogue that first ship was a Maquis ship. They could have explained all that in a little bit of exposition, and exposition is okay sometimes. I know some people get upset that we don't like exposition. It has its place, and it can be done well.
I think there were good and bad examples of it in this one episode too.
Can we talk about how many fucking characters were in this episode? We talked about it in the reaction, but oh boy, I was having some trouble keeping up with everybody, especially everybody's names. But after finishing the episode, I have an idea. But boy, oh boy, how many actors got a paycheck out of this episode? Good Lord! And can we talk about credit to me, 1 hour of sleep, being able to spot so many. So many actors from previous Star Trek episodes, from Inner Light to Drumhead to fucking
Face of the Enemy.
Face of the Enemy.
The Hunted was the Doctor.
The Hunted was the Doctor. What was the other episode with this Face of the Enemy? The other guy that guy was in when he played Tosk.
Oh, Captive Pursuit.
Captive Pursuit. Yeah. I love that idea. That
you also spotted Tom Paris as the first duty guy.
That's right. Yeah. I'm like, oh, he kind of looks like him.
Which I already knew, thanks to the comments. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you, guys.
I had a guess based on the comment. Oh, remember this name. I thought for sure that he would come back as maybe an op later on. But I didn't realize the actor would come back as a completely different character with almost exactly the same story, just slightly tweaked as his character from the first duty. I thought that was an odd choice. Why not just tweak some more things and have him be the same kid?
Yeah, I don't know. But it's funny. You mentioned you had a theory or whatever. I think that episode is, if you go look at the comments on that video, it's one of the perfect examples of the varying degrees of spoilers people think they're leaving, because I saw everything from the more tame people thinking they're being clever. Oh man, wonder if we ever see this guy again or anything like that. But then you have the slightly more obvious where people will just say his real name of or his character, new character's name of oh, this is what Tom Paris was up to before. So okay, that's a step above. I still don't know who Tom Paris is. And then just the blatant, this guy comes back in Voyager. It's you just went full. You just went full with it.
Completely don't give a shit. Why? Oh.
Now, to be fair, I had completely forgotten until he popped up, and I went, oh, okay, yeah. I have no idea. I had no idea he was like a main character or part of this crew. It's just people had mentioned him as, as that. So it's like he could have been a one character or a one episode person in this. I didn't know. Yeah. And I totally forgotten until he popped up in this, and I went, oh yeah. And then you asked, and I was like, yeah, it is.
Literally the same actor.
But I thought there was a chance that he might die here. And you said there are so many characters. Great job of building tension. This is one of the few episodes where it's believable, because we don't know if all of these characters are going to be in the whole show. So someone like Jakota or Paris there at the end, if one of them had died, I would have believed it. So I think the tension overall was done quite well.
In our pre-series discussion that we filmed literally right before watching the episode, I thought, okay, what TNG introduced the holodeck and another piece of technology, or a new jobs or whatever, and in this episode, Robert Picardo as a hologram doctor, I'm like, that's fucking amazing. That's a great idea. And he can physically touch people. So almost holodeck technology, because you can touch people in the holodeck. So they're able to bring that into outside of a holodeck area, but just like in the doctor area.
I wonder how far he can go on the ship. Is it just the sick bay? Is his entire character going to be sick bay?
Probably. Oh my God. And I wonder if they're going to give him something similar to in Blade Runner 2049, where he can eventually go places, probably down the...
Oh, put him in a little thing?
Yeah. But his character was absolutely hilarious. And from the little I've seen Robert Picardo, he's freaking great. So the fact that he was in the opening credits. Yeah, the fact that he's going to be in this, and yeah, I'm excited.
So that's funny, because I did not recognize him. I didn't know he was the robot cab driver in Total Recall. I didn't remember. We watched something which actually still hasn't even been posted, but with him in it. So I did not recognize him. Just through the ether, I knew the doctor in the show was played by Robert Picardo. I just had no idea who that was, and I knew that the character's name was the Doctor. And it's funny because I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." Like I gave no thought to why that was the character's name, and then as soon as he showed up here, I'm like, that's so genius. Like the idea of a holographic doctor that is, only there as a backup. But now, because of the situation they're in, they have to use him.
That's right, yeah.
They can't get another doctor. So he is going to be essentially the CMO. And it's like, that's such a genius idea. I don't know, you mentioned he might be your favorite character. I don't know if he's my favorite character from this, but just that idea of a new way to bring a new type of character is so great. And then I'm trying to stay on like the overall stuff for now, and then we can like jump into the individual characters deeply. But I already said the story itself, it was cool to be an on-location planet, even though it was a hologram. But it was cool to be on an on-location planet. The people there, it was fine. The whole Caretaker story, it was fine. I thought most of the humor in this landed. Like there wasn't too much cringe stuff. And the one concern or worry we had was about the whole female captain stuff. I think there was 2 mentions, and they were both like fine.
And it made sense.
Yeah.
Because I've always thought I know it's protocol to call whoever it is, your commanding officer, sir. And I like just a little mention about it, saying, oh, crunch time, you call me ma'am, but I prefer captain. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Then later on, when things are going all to hell, Tom Paris says ma'am, it's not even thought about because it's crunch time.
And also the scene with Kim where he says ma'am, and she's like, not crunch time yet.
Yep.
And I loved in that scene where she says, I prefer captain. That is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. It's like, that's how you do it. Because it would have been, so cringe if she was like, sir, Ensign Kim, do I look like a sir to you? Just something cringe like that. It's like, no, it was like just perfect. And
girls get it.
yeah, exactly. Very disappointed that glad we had a Betazoid, and then she dies. Disappointing. I don't want to blame the show for what it's not. Obviously, they built out this cast and then decided to have that Betazoid person be in the opening. I'm glad Betazoid's got a mention, but for anyone that doesn't know, I just love Betazed and like that whole idea, and I have wanted more Betazoids to be in Starfleet. I think the only other one we've seen was like as an official. No, we haven't even seen any like official crew members, right? Because the only people we've seen are like the guy who was in this from the Drumhead, and then the quarter Betazoid, Devanani Raw. He wasn't like a Starfleet officer, so I don't know if we've seen any official Starfleet officers.
Yeah, no, neither was a Tin Man. He wasn't one.
Yeah,
either.
So I would love to see that. We got to see one, and she died. That's unfortunate. But
there was that guy was in this episode, not a Starfleet guy, but he might have been an accomplice or some sort of appointed. The guy who was in this episode, who was in the Drumhead, that guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we got a female Klingon in a Starfleet uniform, first time.
Yes, and then the uniforms. We're going with DS9 uniforms in a TNG setting. I like that mix, and it almost kind of completes the whole, we talked about in Generations. I liked how they kind of messed up the uniforms because it made it look like this transitional period. Mm-hmm. And now, assumingly around the same time, now you have the Voyager where everyone's fully switched over. I just feel like that's a smooth, it makes it look pretty smooth and realistic.
Yeah. Now, are they going to keep up with it that they're stranded 70 million light years away, slowly making their way back towards home, and keep the same uniforms through all 7 seasons?
You would think so. I mean, you would think they literally, from a continuity standpoint, now they could come up with excuses. Oh, we replicated, even though Tuvok says it will absolutely not. Even though he was joking about it, he wouldn't give it to him.
Yeah.
But they could come up with excuses from a behind-the-scenes production standpoint if they got more budget or something. But overall, yeah, there shouldn't be. How much of sticklers are we going to be about that? About, aren't you stranded? How'd you get that?
Yeah, I mean, everything can be like thrown away in one line of dialogue.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we ran into some blah, blah, blah. Who knows?
I guess as long as they give that line of dialogue and don't just make us just
when they're just on screen for no reason.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I guess we updated uniforms. Or even worse, they update the uniforms to Deep Space Nine, and then we jump back over the next week to Voyager, and they also have like, how did that happen?
They always look like this.
Yeah, I mean, this show is pretty good with continuity, so I'll give it up to them. But again, overall in this episode, I think it pretty much had everything. Establishment of characters, a nice emotional message with Janeway talking to the Caretaker about you have to let these people grow up. You can't take care of them forever. We have to grow. Technobabble, emotional moments, and built that sense of excitement. It did what a pilot should do. Because at the end, I was ready to go to fucking war. I'm like, let's fucking go, guys. We're here. And it's
with a bunch of people we just met 90 minutes ago.
Like,
or
I
less.
just met these people and I love them.
Yeah, I mean, Star Trek is just so good at setting up characters. It's crazy. It's just like they're so good. And I'm not trying to say that any of these are like, these are my favorite, but it's like for a starting episode, it's like they're all like, yeah, I believe them all. They're all fit what they're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, like the acting, it'll come into its own. Like everyone's getting used to their characters, and some of them, of course, are a bit flat right now. They're archetypes rather than people. A lot of them because they don't get a lot of screen time yet.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll come over time. I was worried when Neelix first showed up of like, oh, like how it is. It's like, oh, this is that character.
That character, yeah.
And it kind of how same with Quark when I mean, I already had trusted Armin Shimmerman by that point, but like same with Quark as like, oh, it's gonna be this character. I'm trying to think if there was a TNG one. I guess not really in terms of like maybe Loxana, but she's not there every time.
Yeah.
What I mean, if you're not
The
getting what
Ferengi.
I'm saying, is the Ferengi in general.
Yeah.
What I'm saying in general is most TV shows, especially of this time, have that character the Urkel character. Except Urkel is the best, and like no one can be that. But it's like everyone tries to be like, we need to have the guy who's going to be in the commercials and people love. And that's what I felt from Neelix. And usually I don't like those characters unless they're really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it's Star Trek, so it's really, really good. And I didn't find really anything he did like overly annoying or anything like that. Like the bathtub scene maybe could have gotten there, but I felt like even just already the chemistry between him and Tim Russ, who's Tuvok, was pretty good in that, like, stone-faced Vulcan versus his, androgynous or whatever you would want to say. So I liked all that.
Yeah, I think I'm most excited to see how all these different characters interact with each other because we have, 8, 9, 10, and I'm excited to see the dynamics they're going to play forward, both in the sense of what adventures are going to get into. Are we going to have focused episodes? Are we going to have single stories with one person? I like them all. I'm excited to learn more. And I guess the biggest compliment I can give, I just want more. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. We're going to watch the next episode tomorrow. I'm excited to watch it, and it's like it'll be a normal length. So that's always like the real test, right?
The second episode, when it comes to TNG, Deep Space Nine, and this now is the ultimate test. What is your first standalone going to be like? And with TNG, it was what? Naked Now?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was Deep Space Nine?
Deep Space Nine was past prologue with Kira's brother-in-arms from the Shakar.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good one.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was all right.
It was all right. But
do I remember it? No.
No. But yeah, I'm also curious. Like, okay, we got the pilot out of the way. Who's going to direct that first 45-minute one? Who's going to write that first 45-minute one? Now that the producers have written and put it out, who's going to be their first actual writer in the sense that they're not a producer?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, how about you got to imagine at this point, Colby, rest in peace, was obviously their favorite, going from directing All Good Things to directing this premiere. I figured it would have been someone maybe like a Cliff Bowl or something, but like going to him for both of those jobs, here in this year, obviously they really like him, and deservedly so. I thought his direction totally fit the whole alien abduction type of vibe here. All like the close-ups on their faces, and then the focus shifts.
A lot of that,
between them. And then my favorite shot was in that. Was probably my favorite scene of the episode where Janeway's talking about after she thinks Kim might be dead, and she's talking about talking to his parents and everything, and then when Tuvok's standing there, and then she stands up and they're face to face, and just whatever that is in the background, there was just like a light or something on the wall, and it was just perfectly like right between them, so they just come face to face, framed amazingly, beautifully, and that was a really great scene. You said you hoped they're the number 1 and 2, even though we end up getting Jacody as the first officer. It seems like Tuvok might even be more of that, that 1 and 2 in terms of like who she's relating to or close to, because they already knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
He was the chief of security before this guy that's coming on. However, I do like that choice to bring this guy who was just leading a Maquis ship, and now he's going to be first officer. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see the dynamics. Oh, and I forgot to bring up in terms of everything in Star Trek, also almost current times Earth hallucinations with these people. It's like, oh, of course. Gotta have that in there.
Yeah. I was glad that they immediately said like, oh, this is a hallucination. Like they weren't tricked or something, or oh, we're on Earth. It's like, no, they immediately were like, yeah, it's fake.
Yeah. So when they were stabbing them, that was Bro testing if he could bang him, basically.
Yeah, so basically he did that
procreate.
to all of them, and he saw that the Klingon and Kim were maybe compatible. So the rest of them he just sent back to their ship, and then for him, for those two, they kept him to impregnate him, essentially.
But in doing so, they also got that skin condition.
Because they weren't fully compatible. He's never found anyone that's actually fully compatible, so they just die. So this guy's obviously bad. Like, he's just killing people.
Now, do you think they're ever going to find the second caretaker?
Oh, the obvious setup of the female whatever who just went away? Yeah, maybe.
Maybe in the finale, maybe.
Next episode?
Next episode, and they kill fire. How about that fire moment? I got a little, that was a great moment.
Because besides Best of Both Worlds, what other fire moment is it like so much is on the line in that decision? Because like Best of Both Worlds, he's killing Picard. Here, it's like she's making the decision to destroy their chance at getting back.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually don't know. I mean, badass moment for her as a captain. And Dakota, who does she think she is? She's the captain. That just solidified Dakota right there. Like, no wonder you're the first officer.
Yeah, it's like, there we go. We got it.
But that choice, I get what she's saying. And I understand the whole officer's duty thing. What do you think about it, though? Because it's like, what were these people called? The Kempers or something? I already forgot.
Okempa?
Okempa, yeah.
I think those were the people underground.
Yeah, they were the ones that would have been killed or whatever by the people above. She's like, I won't sacrifice their lives. It's like, I do get that. It's just such a tough choice, you know. That's
because they're straining themselves.
Yeah, and you know, because she thinks that they're correct and that they'll kill these people if they don't, you know, let this thing be destroyed. She's gonna strand them all there. Like, what a tough decision. Like, I get it, you're the captain. I mean, they basically explain it in the scene before where Tovok's like, we shouldn't do that. And he's like, Prime Directive. And she's like, basically, Prime Directive, we're involved already.
Yeah.
Which I did have a brief thought about the Prime Directive when they first were talking to these people. And I was like, you know, they're on like a desert type planet. I'm like, I understand they're looking for their crew, but I'm like, isn't this kind of breaking the Prime Directive? I'm glad she doesn't care.
Yeah, I mean, they were involved. They were brought there. It's not their fault.
True.
And I got worried when Tuvok brought up the Prime Directive. I thought, oh no, Bro's invoking the Prime Directive, no. And I like that Janeway said, no, we're beyond that. We're involved here. We got to do something. Pretty good.
Yeah, good captain.
Good scene.
Oh yeah, good. I gotta say for sure, in terms of like that ending scene, was definitely the best of any of the first episodes. But yeah, the whole thing was really good. Any like actual, before we jump into the characters, like any actual like complaints or things you thought could have been better?
I would have to think about it or watch it again, but right off the bat, there was nothing egregiously that I disagree with. I mean, besides the fact that a woman is...
Oh, well, that's obvious.
Well, that's obvious, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think... I seriously think, like, they took notes from the first two 90-minute pilots and said, okay, let's improve upon this, because I heavily enjoyed this very much. I mean, if anything, it was just a lot of bouncing around between people, and every time we turned a corner, new people were coming around. I was just trying to remember everyone.
Yeah, and just personal preference stuff. Like, I would like to spend 90 minutes just learning, just meeting all of these people and not spending 45 minutes on a sci-fi story. But what the credit I will give is that I feel this one more so is makes the characters, first of all, it sets up the premise of the show, obviously, but also it makes Janeway specifically, but the crew, it does make them stronger with that whole ending sequence of blowing that up and all that. So the sci-fi story is needed to do that. But honestly, like if I was making a Star Trek show, it's like I would just make the first episode fucking give every character 10 minutes of whatever, you know, throughout the whole thing. And if you have 9 characters, that's 90 minutes. So because it's like I want to get to know, like that's enough for me to sell me on the show. Do I like the characters? And the answer is yes, gratefully. But I'm at least glad that the sci-fi, like the Encounter at Farpoint, that sci-fi story just is irrelevant. It's just a story. You know, I mean, the whole thing with Q and stuff is, you know, obviously whatever, but it is what it is. This one, at least it sets up the show, so I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's tough. What do you start with? Because we have to appeal to everyone here to hook everyone in.
Yeah.
Got to interest.
But I'm what matters.
We're the one with the channel.
Yeah.
I think it similar in a complete different sense of all good things. I think this pilot really did its best and did it well to try to hook as many people as they can from all different walks of what people enjoy about Star Trek, and I fucking dig it. I dig it a lot,
and it even hooked us because my one worry was, well, okay, Ronald Moore is obviously over at Deep Space Nine. Like, does anyone here give a fuck about characters? And I think obviously the answer is yes. I mean, with the scene, like the Janeway scene, both of her scenes, her first one on the Voyager where she's talking to her either boyfriend or husband, and then the second one with the, you know, the Kim situation, that's great. And then there were a number of other ones between characters where it was just characters talking about whatever their background or whatever. And like I said, they're not all super strong yet, but clearly it's not just it's not quite TOS flat in terms of like, this is my name, that's it. Like Ahura, gets one episode eventually at some point. Like it's a little bit deeper than that. I'm glad it's not super paper thin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just so excited to see everyone interact with each other and the different dynamics. Just off the top of my head, Kim and Tom Paris. I mean, Paris is kind of more of a street smart type of kid, and Kim is just like fresh right out of college, just because Quark's taking advantage of him. Paris is more street smart. Like, oh yeah, I got you. So that's the dynamic between them. But the dynamic between Paris and Chakotay is completely different because they're butting heads because of the whole Maquis situation. And I just love how we have all these different dynamics of what character thinks about what character. I have a feeling it's going to be good. I don't know.
And then you have Kim, like, I've prepared my whole life for Starfleet. Academy graduate, like what you would think of like someone groomed for Starfleet. And then you have, I'm sorry, I forget her name off the top of my head. B'Elanna Torres. And then you have B'Elanna, who went to the academy and had to leave. She said they mutually agreed it wasn't a fit. So it's like, I could see them clashing, where it's like, he's the more by the book Starfleet, this is what we were taught to do, and she's like, screw all that. So that them clashing, or did she even interact with Tom Paris yet? That could be, do they have really, hot sex at some point?
I can see why there's 7 seasons of television. I think there's a lot of stories here that can happen. Oh boy, I'm excited.
Gene would hate it. The interpersonal. They should all be perfect. All right, you want to jump into these characters?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I think it'd be fun. Let's just start with just our favorite character from this first episode. Do you want to go first?
I mean, I already talked about him, but I think right off the bat, the idea of a hologram doctor who doesn't like to be kept turned on, who's only there for emergencies. And I just wonder how they're going to explore him as kind of a living being in a way. I mean, it's almost a brand new species because he's going to have to exist pretty much quite often. And I'm assuming his sleep will be when he's turned off. And I wonder if by being awake more, because what is it like when he's not on? Is it just nothing? Is his conscious only alive when he's activated? How is that going to affect his growth? Will he have growth? What is the program? And Robert Picardo's performance, his quick wit, I dig it. I'm excited to see what they do with him.
Is it like when we go to sleep and don't remember our dream, where you just go to sleep, wake up?
Yes, go to sleep. Yeah. Like Severance.
Or like Severance. Yeah, that'll be very interesting. I really like him as well. I think it's to choose a character to do that with. I think the Doctor makes complete sense. Because you look at the Doctors we've had thus far. Bashir, Crusher, Bones, they're all so different. So, like, how do you make that character different? You make him a hologram. And Robert Picardo, I'm not super familiar with him, but I liked what he did here. I've liked the stuff I have seen him in. I think that's going to be awesome to see.
And everyone has to interact with the Doctor. If they just put him at the helm or whatever, who's just piloting the ship, not everyone's going to, I mean, maybe some people might talk to him, but it's a pretty straightforward job. But everyone at some point is going to have to see the Doctor. And I'm excited to see how that goes forth.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then for me, I am gonna have to go with the name best I can here. Roxanne Dawson, who is B'Elanna Torres. I thought that Janeway might end up being my favorite of the first episode, and she does have a lot of great scenes. It's obviously she's the captain, so there's a lot of focus on her. But B'Elanna reminds me of a lot of characters that we've seen in certain ways. Like, reminds me a little bit of Kira in terms of, like, outside of the system, obviously has an attitude, angry, but she's already a little bit more willing to, like, cooperate, it seems like, than Kira. Like, I can't imagine DS9 starting and then, like, Kira being in a Starfleet uniform by the end of it,
Yeah.
So she's not quite as, outside as that. She went to the academy, for a short time. But having a female Klingon part of the crew, a female Klingon and the Vulcan. It's like, thank God we have them as part of the crew. Like, I'm so glad it's not just like I said in the pre-discussion, like, thank God it's not just a bunch of human characters and then the hologram Doctor, for example, which still would have been kind of basically human. It's like, thank God we have, I don't even know what Neelix is, but we have all these different species, and have a female Klingon, obviously one of our favorite characters of all time, Kalar. female Klingon.
Kind of like Kalar in that sense. About more struggling with the Klingon side of herself, or this new character is talking about. Oh, it's the Klingon side of myself. I'm working on it, and almost seems not too fond of it in a way. Where similar to Kalar, I think Kalar definitely preferred her human side more than her Klingon side.
Don't know yet how I feel about how subtle her ridges are. For a Klingon.
Yeah, I was going to say quarter. I think you said it. Yeah.
Well, no, I was like, what is she, a 10th? Like they're barely there. My guess, behind the curtain guess would be they didn't, either the actress or whoever, they didn't want to do a full headpiece and didn't want to do hours of makeup every day.
Think about the pilot. You go back and look at the pilot with Deep Space Nine. Odo looks weird. Kira looks weird. So by next episode, it could look a lot different.
Could change. Yeah, it could change. But regardless, I don't think it made her look bad or anything. It's a different look for a Klingon, But I do like the idea that when you're half Klingon, maybe one half Klingon, half human, looks a bit more Klingon, and then one looks a little more human. So also, she doesn't go by just, like, for example, Kalar was just Kalar. She's B'Elanna Torres.
2 names, yeah.
So I'm guessing her dad was the human, would be my guess, because Kalar's mom was the human, I'm pretty sure. So she has that human last name, a little bit more of that side in her, obviously, and physically. But I just really like that idea of, I've talked about it before, like with the whole Wesley thing. It's like, I don't hate Starfleet. Star Trek exists because Starfleet, but it's like to have someone, I went to the academy and essentially had to drop out or was expelled or some weird situation, and now here she is in a Starfleet uniform. It's like, that's a great, I love that. Or even a little bit the same with Paris, where it's like he's not a crew member at first. He's an observer because he had his whole situation fall out where he joined the Maquis, then turned on him and got in trouble. And now he's once again in the uniform. So I'm much more into that most of the time because, Starfleet is very, Admiral Nechayev is what I think of when I think of Starfleet. So, what did you have anything to add on her character before we move on?
I just need, similar to a lot of them, I just would like to see a little more. I'm excited to see what they do. But I guess next character for me would have to be Janeway. I think she's fucking amazing. I like her scene right off the bat not right off the bat, when she's on Zoom with her husband and all the human side's coming out and she's leaning forward about wanting to be home, I miss him, and then as soon as it's over, come, enter in. It's like, I love the double acting where it's like, I'm a person, I'm a captain. Oh, it makes my day. Love it.
And her name is Kate Mulgrew, and I really enjoyed her as well. We've already obviously talked about her quite a bit in this discussion, but I'll just say, not exactly the same as all I had in my head was this image. This is all I had to go off of right here, was this image on the box set. And not that that's a lot or anything, but I just felt like, okay, she's going to be, not Picard, so that's good. Because, no one will ever be Picard. You can try to mimic Kirk, or you can try to even, I don't know what mimicking Cisco would look like, but, no one's going to be Picard. So I'm glad it's not trying to do that. But she has, Starfleet Picard-isms in her, like what you just mentioned. And I just love that we're already getting to see the more human side of the captain, because that's not something we got to see a lot with Picard because of who he was. And when we did see it, it was our favorite episodes, like for me with Lessons, and stuff like that. But to see that already was such a good sign of just like, oh, thank God. And the fact that now, you talk about trauma, she separated herself by her own choice from her either boyfriend or husband and her dog, and stuff.
Yeah.
So I wonder why they went with having a dog instead of, unless they didn't say anything about having kids. If she had kids, if that would have changed her decision. But obviously she's a Starfleet captain, so having kids probably isn't easy. But I do wonder why they went with that choice. But I'm glad she had a loved one. And then that speech towards the end where she's like, we all have families and loved ones. That's good. So yeah, overall I thought she was great. I thought her speech with the caretaker was good. I thought her speech at the end was great. Yeah, nothing. Again, the acting stuff in terms of just overall, she was probably the best one, but, everyone has to settle in a little bit. I'm sure these characters will change over time, just like Picard, just like everyone else. Cisco has too. So after that, we had Robert Beltran, who was Commander Chakotay. Oh, it's C-H. I thought it was J. C-H, Chakotay. What do you think about him?
I dig him a lot. I like the idea, because we've seen people leave Starfleet to join the Maquis, but we haven't seen anyone come back. And now he has to fill this role as a commander, which I find completely interesting. So Native American, I think.
Yeah, I was confused because Was this a one-time scenario where his face paint was actually just face like a tattoo or something?
I think it might be because obviously watching Star Trek over these past few years, you figure, oh, he's an alien.
He's an alien.
Yeah, but no, I guess he's just a Native American man
with a tattoo.
With a tattoo, which hey, dig it. Okay,
and it makes sense
for a main cast member. That's great,
and it makes sense with the Maquis because remember the whole Native American people.
That's right. That's
and
right.
then when the Maquis formed, a lot of them were Native American because of that. Talk about Journey's End having reverberations. I mean, damn. Yeah, that's really cool. I already said my favorite moment of his, where he goes, "Who does she think she is? She's the captain." You know, that's my favorite moment of his. But the scene with him and Tom Paris, where he saves his life, I thought that was really good. There's actual real tension. Beyond that, he doesn't get a lot, obviously. So we'll see.
Yeah, just need to see more. But overall, I dig it.
Then we talked about Belena. Oh yeah, this is an interesting one. Jennifer Lane as Kess. I don't even know what she is. What is she?
Species that only lives 9 years.
Oh, the Okempa or whatever?
No, I don't think she's an Okempa. Or is she an Okempa?
Yeah, because they were like, we're looking for them, and he's like, oh, she's one of them, and they only live 9 years.
Really? Oh, so
what an odd trait.
So all those people down there only live 9 years?
I guess. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of dialogue going on, and sometimes
you guys will tell us.
Yeah, you'll tell us. It's fine. Once again, interesting what they're going to do because obviously she has a relationship with Neelix. She only lives 9 years. There's going to be some episode, I'm guessing, to where, hopefully, I'm hoping it doesn't happen until the end, but there has to be an episode where they're going to tease that death, or maybe she doesn't know how old she is, and that thought of she can die at any minute. How is it going to happen? Is it a slow death? And I'm excited to get emotional for it if they ever do it. But overall, once again, I'm wondering how she's going to contribute to the show. I'm guessing she's going to be side by side with Neelix the entire time. I'm guessing they're going to kind of be like the bonded pair of the show. But as of right now, I'm not really sure what to think.
Yeah, Jennifer, the actress, was good. She was fine. As a character, she seems to be, up to this point, the most disposable in terms of what is her role here, besides just being Neelix's girlfriend, which is fine. That can be her role. But, at the end, when they were like pitching themselves basically to Janeway of why they should join their ship, Neelix had points. Like, he was like, I know this area, you don't. I have friends. I can get you places. And then Kess is just there, with him. So I don't hate her or anything. Like, I would put her at the bottom only because, like, okay, what are they going to do? The whole age thing is interesting, if we heard that right. The whole age thing is interesting. Is that going to be a ticking time bomb scenario? Or are there going to be episodes where they're like, oh, can we try to find any way to extend that life? But I'm also worried because if she's in the whole show, we saw those people down in that planet. They were different ages. So it's like, how are they going to age her? You know what I mean? If she's only supposed to be 9. So I don't know. We'll see. It's just like a question mark, basically.
Yeah. That goes for a lot of people.
And then we have Robert Duncan McNeil as Tom Paris.
Tom Paris. I'm glad they brought that actor back. Unfortunately, we kind of knew he would be back, but I remember liking his performance in The First Duty and thought this guy could be a captain one day. And would I prefer it be the same character for The First Duty? Yeah, it's not. Whatever. It basically is, but it's not. So I like the whole redemption arc they're kind of going with him, just an observer. And I really love the scene that he had with Janeway about getting his job back, and Janeway with a genuine smile, shaking his hand. I almost got a little feely, little touchy there. I was worried at the beginning. I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna be a fucking, the entire time. But he wasn't really that much. And I kind of like the idea where in any other universe, or maybe if this was in the '60s, he'd probably be the captain or lead of the show. But because it's not right now, it's a different show. It's Voyager, and he's just got what was it, lieutenant?
Yeah,
just a lieutenant right now. But he has all the similar to Riker as commander, where you think he'd be the guy, but he's not. Picard's the guy. So in this show, it's very similar to where, okay, Janeway's the captain, but you're going to be a lieutenant. And I'm just more excited with how his interpersonal relationships are going. I already talked about it briefly with him and Chakotay and Kim. So I think he's going to be entertaining to see him interact with everybody.
Yeah, and I would echo a lot of those thoughts. First, I want to say I'm really glad that he is known as the helmsman or the pilot, because I have been thinking, like, this should be a real job. Like, this should be a role they talk about more. I mean, they say stuff like take the helm or, the helmsman or whatever when they talk to the person, but no character that we've ever had has been, oh, I'm the helmsman. Like, it's always something, they can take the helm, but like Wesley, for example, like he was at the helm for a little bit, but that wasn't like his permanent role in the show.
To make it sound easy.
Yeah, like anyone can just sit up there. Deanna, go take the helm.
Yeah, like it's driving like a boat, where it's just steer the wheel.
Yeah, and one thing I liked about, we think about, what was it? Was it the original Battlestar Galactica with Starbuck, where he's like, I'm the best pilot here, something along those lines. The pilot, like, that's a big deal. I know you're in a giant ship, so it's a little bit different than a little, fighter jet, but it's like, I like that is, if I'm correct and understanding it right, I think that's going to be his job, which should be like a real role. I don't know what, what track it would go under. Would it be red, like command? I don't know for sure, but either way, I like that.
Yeah, hopefully he'll have more pilotable situations, because this is definitely a smaller ship than the Enterprise, and I think the people at the end of the show, all in that room, are the only crew members, besides maybe whoever's down an engine. It can't be, the ship can't be that big compared, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask our Bruce crew right now. They can tell us. I also wanted to say, what class is the Voyager?
And ask how big it is.
They're all just going to laugh at me. I wanted to say also on Tom Paris, I echo your thoughts about the Riker comparison, spot on. And the way that they were trying to make Riker Kirk, because Picard was Picard and not Kirk. I was worried when we get the first scene with Janeway and Paris. And first of all, loved Colby the direction. It's on Paris, and then we pan up, and that's the first time we see Janeway just standing there.
Yeah, the stoic.
Yeah, great entrance. But I thought, oh no, like were they concerned? Like, oh no, we got to bring in the male demographic, get Tom Paris, like he's basically going to be season 1 and 2 Riker. But already I would say no. Like he's very much obviously, under her command, isn't number one. He's not trying to be a captain. He has his role. I do think when I said archetypes earlier, I think right now he is a basic Han Solo-ish archetype. Like, I'm a cool guy, I'm a hot shot, and I'm also a badass who does the right thing. Like, that's a completely fine archetype, but, obviously I hope he grows more. I did think it was funny, the whole bit with the hologram girl on the planet, where she was trying to basically have like a freaking, get an Eiffel Tower ran on her, but, hey, the holograms can do whatever they want. But, I thought all of it was funny, so it didn't come off like cringe. His scene with the Betazoid was good too, like when he was trying to flirt with her, and she's like, do you always go at women at warp speed or maximum warp? Like, that was all good. Also, love using Star Trek lingo in a flirting scenario. I mean, that's the type of stuff that, it sounds silly, but it's like, that's what makes the world sound real, when they're using their lingo in like a real conversation that you would have.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't say, oh, you're going 90 miles an hour or whatever. It's like, no, warp speed. Like, people aren't driving cars out here.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, my worry initially was quelled, and so I like how he's been used. I don't think that'll be the case. Even if that was maybe the intention of the character, like, oh, we need a hotshot guy here, that, it didn't come off that way. And then we have Ethan Phillips as Neelix.
Yeah, he's interesting, intriguing. Right off the bat, we talked about worried. Oh no, Quark or Urkel, that character. And yeah, I mean, similar in the end. It's like, oh, very resourceful. Quark's very resourceful. I'm just wondering what's going to separate him, because right now it's hard to tell. I like this fish out of water stuff. It's funny, but right now, it's too early to tell for me.
Yeah. Right now, he's like it's like, you didn't annoy me this episode. Good job. It's like, I like you. I really like the suit that he made.
Yes.
Good style. But it's like, okay, unfortunately, at least for the first season, it's going to be like, all right, don't annoy me every episode. Like, that's your goal. It's like, they just don't annoy me, and I think you'll be good.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid that eventually we'll get to a moment where he annoys me, or maybe if it's like an episode focused on him or something, or more people of his species, and it's going to be like, So we'll see on that.
I hope we never find out what he is. Like, similar to Odo, I guess, before we found out what he was, but just one of those, we'll just never know his origin or anything. Just complete mystery character, because why not?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I wanted to pull up that Star Trek Generations for the next character, which is Tim Russ, who played Tuvok. And unfortunately, I thought it would have been a cool little connection there if they knew he was going to be in Voyager, so he was in that movie as the same character.
Is he human?
I don't know, but his character name in Generations was just Lieutenant. So I'm guessing it was not supposed to. Was it just a coincidence? Or did he had already done TNG in one episode, so did they do Generations and go, oh, this guy's good, put him in Voyager? I don't know. I did know he was in the show, but I did not know when or what his role was. I just knew Tim Russ was in the show. I didn't know he was Vulcan. I didn't know anything.
I heard a Vulcan was in the show named Tuvok, but I had no idea what he looked like.
So that's cool. You know, I don't necessarily know him from like a ton of other stuff, but he seems like a good actor, and I liked all of his chemistry with the characters he interacted with, and I'm just so glad a Vulcan is here.
Yeah, and solid Vulcan performance, which can be very tough to do, but for Lower Decks guy and this guy, I think they got the formula figured out.
Oh yeah, they should have just used him. I mean, I like Tim Russ, I liked Stovak, but they could have used him.
They could have. But I like this guy a lot. Now, but do you think it would have tipped our... Oh, no, actually, no. I would have said, do you think it would have tipped our hand in the beginning when he's a Maquis guy? But anyway, people from Starfleet leave to do the Maquis all the time, so we wouldn't have thought, like, oh, he left to join the Maquis, and then you realize that might have even been better. No, I actually didn't leave Starfleet.
Yeah.
Like, no, it was all a ruse. Suck it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited because I really loved every scene with him and Janeway, their conversations together. His stuff with Neelix is fine. It's the comedic relief. Oh, it's the wackadoodle guy. It's the Maurice Hurley wackadoodle guy. And the very stoic, emotionless guy, obviously, works together very well, yin and yang. But the personable scenes of Janeway, I absolutely loved. So I'm excited to see more from him, obviously.
Yeah, and then the last one here that's like the main characters, so that makes 9. A cast of 9 is what it is. So, I mean, when you think about TNG had essentially 8, if you count Tasha at first. Yeah. She left, so they had 7, but had she not left, it would have been 8. Mm-hmm. And then for Deep Space Nine, how many quickly do we have? Off the top of my head, we have Sisko, Odo, Kira, Bashir, Dax, Quark, Chief. Am I missing any of what you would call like...
You say
main,
Bashir?
Yeah, like main characters? Because then after that you have Jake, Garrick, and stuff, but they're not in every episode. Yeah, so I guess 7 that you would consider like the main... Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
But with Deep Space Nine, they just have such a deep second, character class.
Yeah, heavily featured second class. Yeah.
Not second class as in inferior, but just like a lot of characters who aren't there all the time but are in the show. Yes. So, but yeah. So last one, Garrett Wang as Ensign Harry Kim. This is, if anybody is like the straight man or whatever of like audience's perspective, it might be him because he's just like fresh ensign.
Yeah, I view him as the new kid on the block.
Yeah.
Where he's straight out of Starfleet Academy, he's young, he's inexperienced, he doesn't have that street smarts. Right off the bat, when shit started going down on Voyager and things started blowing up, he knew what he was doing. Probably a little nervous, but he knew exactly what to do. But when it comes to dealing with people, maybe especially people like Quark,
similar to, I guess you could almost relate him a little bit to a Chekhov, but even like Chekhov felt a little bit more street smart in COS.
Yeah, a little bit.
But just as like the young upstart guy who, but it's cool that he is a Starfleet graduate, so it's not like it's Wesley or Jake, where like literally a child, a teenager. He is a Starfleet graduate, fresh ensign, basically like the people we saw in Lower Decks, but represented as a main crew member here, which is really cool.
Yeah, and the idea that he was just completely ripped away from his life, and that good scene with Janeway talking about he was a clarinet player and never going to, his mom's probably never going to see him again, and all that. So, in fact, yeah, that's it.
And yeah, you talk about that. He has that scene where he's like, "It's my first day, and I'm gonna die."
Yeah.
He doesn't die, but as far as anyone on Earth is concerned,
he is dead.
Basically, they can't contact him.
Yeah, I'm assuming sending a message 70 million years through light space would probably take a long time to get that message to wherever it's going.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's just not even possible. So I wonder if Starfleet. I'm sure we won't really hear about this in the show, obviously, but my guess would be Starfleet would eventually just be like, oh, they're gone. Like, they're lost.
Yeah, ships go missing all the time.
Yeah, so that everyone will just presume them dead, which is pretty crazy.
Do you think they'll mention it in Deep Space Nine? Just a little offhand comment? The Voyager went missing. Like people talk, like Morin's talking to someone at the... I mean, not Morin talking, but someone's talking to Morin at the bar. Or Quark's like, oh, wow, he ruined that kid's life. He's gone. Anyway.
Yeah, I only want them to do it if it doesn't come off,
I'm
bad.
I'm sure they probably won't. But
I mean, it would make sense. I mean, they want to promote the show, but
yeah, I mean, we know why they didn't talk about the Enterprise blowing up in Generations because the movie was literally still in theaters. So
yeah, and also stardate wise, we haven't gotten there yet.
That's true.
For
yeah.
Deep Space Nine, I don't know the stardate of this, but we did get an answer. The Voyager is an Intrepid class and is much smaller than the Enterprise, only around 140 crew. Obviously, the Enterprise had over 1,000. Phil says 150 people.
Oh, I'm such an idiot. I was thinking like, oh, the only people on the ship are the people who are in that bridge at the end. I totally forgot when they get sent to that fake hologram world. There's crew members all over the place. So my bad.
And I'll put this picture on screen, but Badger sent this image, so this is the original Enterprise.
Oh, perfect.
A, B, C. Well, made a big jump with C. The D,
Yeah.
and then there's Voyager, and the only one under that is the Defiance.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, is that just the bottom of the image down there? Oh, but there's the Defiance. So
That was close to my guess, I
yeah.
think. Okay.
So it is much bigger than the Defiance.
I gotcha. Okay.
344 meters, this says, as to where the D is 642. Damn. I like that. We talked about, is this the new flagship? I'm glad it's not. I'm glad that it is a smaller ship with a smaller crew. No civilians, she says at the end, like this isn't a passenger ship. That would really suck. Imagine you were just a civilian passenger, and then you were just out there.
Your entire life is just uprooted. Okay.
Yeah. So I like that. It makes it seem like, it'll be a little more intimate maybe. I mean, just these characters, and I'm sure just people will still be walking around, but it won't be like, obviously Deep Space Nine is super packed mostly, and then the Enterprise had civilians and whatnot. Do you get the sense, though, that there's any fun to be had here on the ship?
I was just thinking that with none of those other elements. And
we saw a mess hall.
There is a mess hall, so there is time for leisure, but will there be any fun activities happening on this ship?
Like, is there a Parisi Square room? I don't even know if there's a holodeck. I would assume not. Is there a 10-4 type area? Is there a racquetball room?
Are they going to be very...
Is there an arboretum?
Yeah. Are they going to be very conservative with resources because they're 70 million light years away and they don't have their usual stuff that they use? I mean, I'm sure Neelix can get them something, but he was very confused with the idea of a bath and other things. So, I'm not sure. Just the way the show ended, it made it seem like every episode it's going to be ping to ping to ping, run into something, run into something, run into something, and not very much a lot of time to... I mean, I hope they take that time to let something happen, a bonding level traumatic event where we see how everyone reacts to everything. But as of right now, with Deep Space Nine being one setting, and then the ship heading back towards home, I mean, I don't know. I mean, seven seasons. There's got, I think, 160 something episodes I saw. I'm hoping there's going to be some fun to be had on the ship. There's got to be.
That does bring up, I hadn't mentioned, this season started in January. It is only 16 episodes. This is the shortest season that we've watched thus far, if you don't count TAS, which technically had 2 seasons. But really, it's one big season of 22. But yeah, only 16 episodes, and this was a double. So really, there's only 15 episodes. So we're not going to be, in this first season for a super long amount of time, which I'm grateful for in the sense of let's get the show going in terms of we don't have to do the whole, it's the first season as long as we've had to for the others.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's like, oh wow, it's, that's a short season. So we'll probably get through it, faster than, we will get through it faster, but and how it feels. I'm sure by the time we get to the end of this first season, we'll be like, oh wow, that's it. Obviously can't do a top 10, just by default. So,
oh, that's weird. That's crazy. I wonder what the behind the scenes reason was.
Well, it started in January, so.
Started late?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because we started right in the middle of...
Yeah, so TV ended, back then in May, and then no one aired anything over the summer.
Yeah, was there just no TV on during the summer?
You have news and baseball. That's about it.
It's like, we have to end here. Do you?
It's also a movie season. Well, blockbuster
season.
Unless you're a Star Trek movie, you just come out at Thanksgiving, I guess, but...
I'm not going to pretend to know how it works. The year we were born changed everything.
Yeah, exactly.
For us, because we became alive.
Yeah, but I do think I prefer that schedule over streaming today, but we don't got to get into all that again. I would love to have a show on every week from September to May. That'd be great. There are shows that are like that still, but I don't have cable, so...
Yeah, I don't really watch anything much on streaming anyways, so.
Anything else before we get to the patron takes?
Overall, I like this episode. I'm excited for this show. I talk about pilots, most important episode in my opinion. People talk about, oh, you just got to get past the first season, you just got to get past the blah, blah, blah. This did exactly what I talk about with the pilot. Hooked me in, dropped the bait. I'm like, ooh, this is interesting, and hooked me in with that ending, and I'm on for the ride. So it did its job.
There are over 200 patron takes for this premiere. Can't say that that's surprising. It's a premiere. But let's take a look as we scroll.
So with doing that, we are going to read one.
Yeah,
that's a lie. We're going to read more.
Then we read one.
Oh, we got to read this because it correlates with what I said. Matchstick, best Trek pilot, best Trek opening sequence, beautiful theme. What do you think about that?
As far as the pilot, I'm not going to argue it. Again, if we're not counting TOS as a pilot, as the pilot.
I said 90-minute pilot. Yeah, best 90-minute pilot.
Yeah.
I mean, Man Trap as a pilot, just I wouldn't.
It's just an episode.
It's just an episode. Yeah.
The theme, we did do the reaction to it. Alex got a little bit excited by seeing Robert Picardo, but we did listen to it.
I forgot that we were doing it. I totally forgot. That's my fault because I totally forgot we were doing yeah.
After we just recorded the intro, but no, but overall,
it started off hot.
It's just like another good one. I don't know. Maybe the themes aren't just art. On one hand, I'm like, well, maybe just themes aren't something we'll get into. But then it's like, we love the TOS and TNG one. So it's like, they can do it right. This isn't bad by any means. But like, people being like, oh, best opening theme, beautiful, all this stuff. And DS9 will say the same thing. Those fans, like, oh, beautiful music. It's like, the music's great, but it's like, there's no captain's log. I like the ship sequences, I guess, of it going through like the clouds and whatnot. But it's just like, yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's all right. Captain Summer, I adore this crew. Won't say much now, but this crew is fantastic. Well, that gives me hope that it's, like I said, I want it to be, even if it's episodic, a crew that I like going through those episodes and those plots, so I hope so.
Right.
Dan here says, my favorite series first. I love Janeway. She is the definition of how a captain should be IMO.
I think she nails it in terms of stoic, warm, confident, what's the word I'm looking for? Very commanding when she needs to be, but she's also a human being.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying if you're an alien, it's wrong. I'm just
no, you got to be human.
I'm just saying in terms of being personable. Like there's multi-layers that are needed to be a captain. So, all right, I'm gonna read this because it got me. From Evan Guthrie. I'll be honest, this is not a great start to a series. I wholeheartedly disagree with the choice Janeway made at the end of this episode. Has to be one of the stupidest decisions by any Starfleet captain so far. Kirk and Picard would never have left that little gremlin Neelix stay aboard their ship. You got me in the first half, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, really? But
I wouldn't, I imagine this joke also works because there's probably a lot of people who have that mindset about her actual decision.
Probably,
and then
yes.
Evan is flipping it into a joke. But there's probably people that do think that about that. And I said, even myself, I'd questioned it first. I'm like, that's a tough decision.
It is, yeah.
And like part of me, that cynical, oh, we're watching a TV show part wants to be like, oh, she's only making this choice to set up the show. But it's like, you're the it's the captain. What she does is in line with what a captain should do.
People's
it's
lives.
just they gave Picard and stuff and Kirk more plot armor there to where they would make that choice, but then by the end of the episode they would still find a way home.
Yeah. Plus, it was a quick decision. So I often think about so many decisions, especially in TNG. They go to the room, the briefing room, and suggestions, and everyone goes around the table and says something. There was no time for that. It was just fuck, fire.
Yep.
So,
Joshua CLG, if you want your take read, a good thing to do is ask questions, and Joshua does that all the time.
He's figured that out.
Yeah, he's figured out the formula. Question: do you think the episode loses steam and urgency once the crew is beamed aboard the array and into the simulation of the farm? Does it work tonally? I feel that the episode's first half is stronger than its second half. I wouldn't totally disagree with that. For me, does it lose a little bit of momentum? Sure, because you kind of like, okay, we're starting a new story, basically. What's going on? Here's a sci-fi story. What I will say, though, is I felt what they did with the array and that whole thing did work, and I think the absolute ending is so great that it kind of makes up for that. Because so many things, it's like, how did it end? You know, it's like that's so important on a first watch, especially. Maybe on rewatches, I'll be bored watching it. But that ending was so good that I kind of forget how it got there.
Yeah, I think especially with a 90-minute pilot, you need to have peaks and valleys. It can't just be, "Wah!" The entire 90 minutes. So I appreciate some time where we go down to this farm with corn on the cob, and you're just sitting there going, what's going on? Just let's take a breather here really quick. And then we're slowly going to build back up. Because it started off hot with the McKee ship getting blown away, and then the Voyager getting sucked into the thing, and then, okay, we're here. Let's build it back up again.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a little bit of a hot take from Phil. I want to see what you think of this. Phil Ken 7, I've always really liked the first half of this. It does a good job of introducing the crew and killing part of it off. The story and concept are good, but part 2 just goes off the rails and the stupidest series setup we have. Interesting. However, here's the hot take part, in my opinion. Also, the character, not the actor, Neelix, is awful. And if you took him out of this episode completely, nothing would be different. Welcome to Star Trek's Jar Jar Binks. Now, Jar Jar Binks is absolutely an example of what I was talking about earlier in terms of like, we need a funny character. And unfortunately, the whole Sith Lord thing never came to be, as far as we know. So,
we were this close to greatness.
But overall, definitely wouldn't put Neelix on that level for this episode. Maybe he gets grading over the series like I'm worried about. But in this episode, it was fine to me. And also, take him out of the episode and nothing would be different. I mean, from a literal how it works standpoint, they did need him. You know, he took them to those people in the whole situation. So, like, they did need him. They also needed Kes, who was dating him. So, and that way, of course, you could just say, well, you could rewrite it, which is something we do all the time.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
Yeah, I love how he's not a complete cornball. I mean, he had devious things. The whole thing was just to rescue his girlfriend. And as they're leaving, he says, fuck you, and blows up their water and gets out of there. And I guess he was kind of right because those people ended up being ops. But did they end up being ops purely because of what Neelix did?
Maybe. I don't know, though. He shows up the rest of the episode, like, all kind of pissed off. Yeah. I think they were probably gonna, be villains regardless.
That guy looked like, you ever watch, like, Camp CKY or fucking, what was it, Jacket? Or what was the Bam Margera show? The guy
Viva La Bam?
Yeah, Viva La Bam. The guy looked like a wolf. What was his fucking name?
Oh, with the really long hair?
Yeah. Looked like that guy.
His name was like something weird, like Corn or something.
Like Wolfgang or something, I don't know, but he looked like that guy.
Wolfgang.
I don't recognize this name because this is from You There. First time doing a patron take, but I signed up just to see the uncut Voyager premiere. Well, thank you. Voyager is a show that holds a very special place in my heart, as it was one of the shows I watched with my mother when I was younger, and the first Star Trek I watched every episode of. It turned me from a casual Star Trek fan into a devout one. That's great.
That's really awesome.
Thanks for being here.
But does that mean you're not staying? Because it said just to see the uncut Voyager premiere. What about next month, though?
What about episode 2? What about...
I mean, that would still be this month, but...
Where are you going?
Yeah. No, we're doing the whole show. You there? No, but thank you for joining, and we always love reading first-time patron takes, and that's awesome that you watch it with your mother. And you said turned it from a casual to devout. I wonder, you say casual, like I would be curious, like did you just watch TNG sometimes, or what exactly the extent of it was? But that's awesome you had that bond. Unfortunately, Alex and I, like, this is the only Star Trek bond we have is us watching it now, obviously, so we didn't have anything like that growing up, but that would have been awesome to have for sure. But then we wouldn't have this, so we'd be watching something else.
Blessing and a curse.
Goddess of Empathy. I love this show. I love Captain Janeway. I love the crew. I love the ship. I see there's already a lot of Neelix hate right off the bat, which I think is unfair. Ignore it and make your own minds up about him. Well, I will do Goddess of Empathy. I love the irony, though, of the picture being Marina Sirtis talking about a different Star Trek show. But... I can't go that far with any of it, obviously, at this point, but that's awesome that you love the show. And I will be making up we make up our own mind about everything. Trust me, it's not as if we care. Like, you guys know by now. It's like, we will tell you if we disagree.
But with her, I'm assuming it's her, sorry if you're not, but it's just like, I love this, I love that. All I can think was, I love the WWE.
I love the WWE.
Look up the Hulu WWE commercial if you haven't. It's hilarious. Oh, I got to read this name because, one, it's hilarious. Trill House. Like Millhouse, but it's Trill House.
That's very funny.
The one thing I will never understand about the Voyager pilot is why the hell is everyone in a Starfleet uniform by the end of the episode? The creators did all this work to generate a smart setup that would ensure maximum conflict drama in the cast, and they just don't fully commit in the pilot. You can almost feel like Berman told Pillar Taylor, "Whoa, slow down there, guys. We don't want Gene rolling that hard in his grave." I was already helping with plenty of that.
I guess I can understand that argument, but for me, it makes complete sense in Deep Space Nine. They're not all in uniform because they're not all in Starfleet and they're on this station. I understand we're separated here and it's not like Starfleet official, but like this is Janeway's ship. Like this isn't a station or somewhere. It's like this is her ship, which is a Starfleet vessel, and they aren't just here. Like Neelix wasn't in a uniform. Like they aren't just here. They are part of her crew. And I like the idea that it's like if you're going to be on my crew, you're wearing a damn uniform. And I really like that.
Yeah, you're part of my team here.
Plus, from a show perspective, we have Deep Space Nine is the show where some are in uniform and some are not. Now we have our Star Trek show where everyone's in uniform for the most part. I like the difference.
Yeah, I kind of dig it.
Steven Johnson says, it all evens out. It's okay for me. Most of the cast are okay. Most of the sets are okay. The storyline is okay. It's okay. What do you guys most and least want to see going forward?
You go first.
I would say I most want to see these characters exploring different worlds and different alien species or space anomalies through the lens of these characters. So what I mean is I don't want it to be TOS where every episode Janeway, Kim, and Paris beam down and that's it. And I also don't want it to be TNG in the sense where they don't really beam down to planets that much. Like, I feel like we've set up such a great thing where it can be a mix of those, where we get the TOS exploration, episodic Twilight Zone aspect, and we get characters that maybe they don't grow fully like in Deep Space Nine, but they are real characters who are not flat and like, oh, I want to see how Belina acts here. I want to see how the Doctor's going to act if this alien comes aboard their ship, something like that. So that'd be the most thing I'd want to see is just episodic TOS type Star Trek through the lens of real characters. And when I say real, I'm not saying that the big three in TOS weren't real, but it was just them. And then the least want to see? With the situation we've been put in, guest of the week. Like, yes, I want alien species like the Caretaker and stuff here, but don't make it where they're in every single scene of the episode and our characters don't matter. That'd be like my least favorite type of episode, probably.
Yeah, just don't make Man of the People. Or Man Out of Time.
A Matter of Time?
No, not A Matter of Time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, not Man of the People. I'm sorry. A Matter of Time, and then I was thinking of Loud as a Whisper.
Yeah, Loud as a Whisper. Another good one, yeah.
Yeah. It'd probably be the same, at least for me, but what I would like most, and it's going to come as a shock to really no one, but I just really want to learn as much as I can about these characters, especially their past and how that's going to inform their decisions going forward. And also, if my morality can be tested and challenged through the lens of the world that we're in, with the new planets we're visiting or the new people that we come across who come aboard the ship, and how our characters grow from whatever circumstance that they're put in and why they make the decisions they do. Which is basically...
sounds like Star Trek.
Sounds like Star Trek, yeah. I want it to be a Star Trek television show. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really breaking any new ground here, but yeah, those are the best parts of Star Trek for me.
You can say it. You don't want it to be past tense. You could say it. You don't want them to go to an Earth-type planet like from TOS and deal with,
But I viscerally remember, because it was such a cathartic feeling watching Iborg and just being completely on the side of it. I'm like, fuck this fucking Hugh motherfucker. Fuck this Borg. Get him the fuck out of here. And then just feeling my feelings change in real time with Picard and Guinan and just going, oh, wow, that's fucking crazy. Because, I mean, for the most part, people don't change their minds. They don't. They have their opinion set, and that's it. You can argue with them all day long. But to have that feeling of going, oh, that's what I love about Star Trek. When I can start one way and within 45 minutes through an execution of a television show, feel completely different on the other end. It's magic.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
That's what I want.
For sure. This is interesting. Nolan says, for as much as you guys enjoyed the Maquis plot in TNG and DS9, those stories' true purpose as setup for this pilot, and not initially part of either of the previous series plans, is now able to be disclosed.
What?
Luckily, the writers are good enough, having to write an entirely new storyline into their narrative didn't slow them down. If that is true, that is insane. Because what do the Maquis even have to do with this show outside of getting these characters here?
Yeah, besides getting... So
they did a whole storyline to get these 3 characters in the show?
A whole storyline that traversed TNG, Deep Space Nine, and now Voyager was all just to get to this point, which is crazy to think about.
But my surprise is more so who cares about the Maquis in this show? They're out in the middle of nowhere. It doesn't matter that these people were Maquis. I mean, it matters to their character in a sense, but they could have been anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll come up again throughout the show, but credit to them. Seriously, that's great. Cool.
I mean, yeah, but it's just, I find that weird. I feel like there's more details here. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
How much of that story was needed to be the way that it is? Was it we need you to introduce a faction? And was that it? Because that's fair enough. We need you to introduce a faction because we need characters from a faction. And then the writers ran with it. If that's the case, that makes sense. But if it was we need you to do a Cardassian treaty, which they don't like, and turns into a Civil War type rebel faction that we're going to put characters from our show into. I mean, that just seems like a whole deep thing to do for just this, where the premise is that they're disconnected.
Yeah, and we're going to bring in Thomas Riker to be a part of this story.
Yeah.
Does Thomas Riker know any of these people? Yeah, that's crazy. Like I said, I'm fascinated. I mean, part of me thinks, okay, this network was kind of a big deal, right? What was it called? QPN?
UPN.
UPN. It was a big deal, right? Holy shit. So I wonder if they thought, okay, we're starting the show on this brand new network. We gotta take some really good care of this and plan this out really strongly in advance. I mean, shit, that feels big. 'Cause so many things feel. Also, Josh and I were talking in our personal lives. We do that sometimes. I was making a Wharf edit, and I put on Heart of Glory in my editing timeline. I'm going through, and I saw that Maurice Hurley teleplay and helped write the story for Heart of Glory, which that episode basically started my love for Worf. And if you didn't watch our Chaos on the Bridge reaction, we kind of clowned on Maurice Hurley because he was kind of a dick, and part of the reason Beverly Crusher was not in, or I think the main reason Beverly Crusher wasn't in season 2 of TNG. And then you looked up that he fucking wrote the story in 2 days.
Yeah, because when you sent me that he wrote it, I'm instantly thinking, after watching Chaos on the Bridge, I'm like, okay, what's the real story here?
Yeah,
He got the writing credit. What's the real story?
Right.
And all I could find was a quote from Rob Bowman, who directed it, and he said Maurice wrote it in 2 days, and he read it and was mind blown by it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now that's Rob Bowman's story. Who knows what the real story is?
Who knows? But in that case, just the fact that a dude we clowned on started the love of my favorite character in Star Trek is just insane to me. It's like,
Just goes to show people are complex.
People are complex.
Yeah.
People are complex.
I'm not going to read an individual take. I'm just seeing a lot of people talk about apparently Kate Mulgrew was not originally Janeway.
Yeah,
And they had someone else who they fired after a couple of days. So that's interesting.
Yeah, it was Michelle Forbes.
I just recast. Like a full other character before. Skullman 8942. I don't have much to say other than I love the Doctor. There you go.
Robert Picardo, man.
So you're saying he's in the whole show? I'm kidding. In my opinion, if they're in the opening credits and they've survived the pilot, I think it's fair to say.
I think it's fair to say, yeah. Groovy Baboon. Solid opener. Great job introducing the cast. The Caretaker is so weird. I love him. Neelix is so unlikable. ... I love that. Love the Paris-Kim relationship. And fucking Tim Russ is a great fucking Vulcan. I think this is a seriously great way to set up the show. Only note, there's no sense of loss in losing half the crew and the would-be first officer, which should hit harder in hindsight, A-, B+. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Interlake guy died. Original Doctor died. Yeah, it's one of those. I think there's just constant stuff happening. There was no time to think about anything. Or time to grieve anything.
Yeah, also, as the type of people we are, we don't know these people. So if they had spent 20 minutes grieving, it would have been like, move on. I mean, that sounds rough. But I mean, like, we don't know them, so we don't care. And I'm not saying in the sense of like, you know, the Marla Astor and the bonding, like, like that was centered on Worf. That's a whole episode centered on Worf and Jeremy's grief and the ship reacting. If it was the whole premiere was that, then awesome. But I mean, just in the sense of like, yeah, if they had spent 5-10 minutes about it, it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. But I don't think in a premiere where we don't know these characters and it doesn't matter is like the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah, kind of felt like The Expanse when we had that entire crew and then, oh, they're gone.
Yeah.
And it's just, and no really time to go. It's like, okay, now we're going. We can't sit around and think about this right now. I mean, I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping there's moments where they sit and go, fuck. And I hope there's a fucking scene where Janeway later on goes, the original first half of my crew is gone. I hope there's a moment where she realizes that and realizes, oh, I might never fucking see my husband or dog again. I hope those scenes are coming. I really hope they do.
Yeah, 100%.
But in terms of the pilot, I understand. We gotta go.
Chris Moe, I'm gonna guess he's talking about those villains in this episode on the planet. Mom, can we have Klingons? No, we have Klingons at home. The Klingons at home.
Yeah. They were something. They were
not the best. When I was joking, like, is this supposed to be the new villain? I was like, the Borg, the Cardassians, these guys, not the strongest.
Yeah, TNG Season 1 Ferengi, really. The lore, this is more for me than you. The guy who plays Tuvok is famous for being in Spaceballs. He's the guy that yells, "We ain't found shit," while literally combing the desert. That's great. I love that. That's one of my favorite lines from that movie. That's that guy? That's great.
Yeah, and for anyone wondering, Spaceballs is one of those movies that it's like I've seen through the ether. I've never sat down and watched the whole thing. I've seen it throughout my life. I know it. I get it. I probably would gain something from sitting down and watching it in full, but it's not one where I'm going to be, like a reaction, because I know it,
Yeah. I might just do a solo reaction to it myself just to laugh at it.
Commentary? Check out Alex's commentaries over on his personal channel. It's called Alex Commentaries.
Or Alex Commentaries personal channel.
This will be an easy one to answer, but it's an interesting question, and maybe throughout the whole series we can revisit it. I'm just a hologram with a picture of Minuet. B'Elanna or Kalar? I personally love both for different reasons. My initial thing was going to be, oh, well, it's a bit too early to say that about B'Elanna, but we literally fell in love with Kalar in one episode, and she was only in 2. So
and had less time.
Right now it's Kalar. That's the goal, though, right? Like, that's the B'Elanna's goal, is to reach that.
That's the goal, to not to have me forget about Kalar, but just to fill that void that's been sitting there ever since Emissary.
Part of me hopes that part of the decision was someone realizing, like, hey, remember how awesome Kalar was? We need to do a character like that.
Yeah, remember when we fucked up? I mean, don't get me wrong.
Remember when Brandon Braga came in and his first teleplay kills Kalar? I'm sure it wasn't his sole decision.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I fucking love Worf's decision to just go, fuck this. I'm going to go kill this fucker.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I miss her.
All right, I think it'd be fair if we read a straight-up defector.
Okay.
We've read a few somewhat negative ones, but here's a straight-up defector. Short skirts and explosions. Behold, Voyager, my least favorite of the 90s Trek series. Granted, I owe a lot of that dislike to the general brooding mood I was at the time of being a young teenager. Fair. Looking back at the show in an older, mature light, it's still the least impressive of them all. That being said, if Trek was a family, Voyager is the little college dropout runt whom I'd still invite to the dinner table, similar to your metaphor earlier. It's pure sci-fi pulp with characters who, at least to me, are portrayed younger than how I perceive TNG and DS9. I'm going to talk about that. I love Janeway and Tuvok, and I personally think this series has the most competent first season out of all of the Treks. So damn, much to unpack here, but I'm super thrilled y'all have reached this point, and I look forward to both bittersweet nostalgia as well as the wonderfully consistent fresh takes from you both during this galactic marathon. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you're excited even though it's not your favorite show. I wanted to talk about I'm really happy that this cast of characters, it feels younger. I mean, they're not all fresh ensigns, but you have Kim, Tom, B'Elanna, or whatever. They all are kind of on the younger side. It's kind of a more inexperienced type crew. Even the first officer is a Maquis guy. This is not the Enterprise, crew that are all these senior officers. I mean, you can't even really call them senior officers. They are the bridge crew, but I really, really like that because I've been wanting that.
Yeah, the least impressive of them all. That's crazy. I mean, honestly, obviously we can't comment on that. We've only watched one episode, but hot start. But did you say it was the best first season, or was that someone else? Oh, most competent first season. What do you think about that? I mean,
It's short.
We can't answer that.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, just so you know, I watched a few episodes just to get an idea of what we're getting into.
When I watched this the first time, before we did the channel, you guys already seen this and you forget this much?
Like, do you fucking believe it?
You guys have all been tricked. We love the science. These are characters, bro. But no, I'm looking forward to it if that's the case. Again, like with everything else, I've heard people say both. Some people say first season's really rough, and I've seen people say this is the only Trek show from the 90s to start off, already good. So it's like you can't trust it. You just got to watch it.
I got to start keeping track of who's saying it and keep track of their opinions.
And if they line up with yours.
Yeah, just see what kind of Star Trek fan are you? Or just to see what their stuff is. I mean, some of them are blatantly obvious, as our good friend Ken R is, but I'm trying to keep track of everyone else.
Speaking of that, I don't even see Ken R in here, so I don't know if he likes Voyager at all. He might be canceling. I don't know.
He didn't even bother. He's like, you know what?
I'm not watching this shit.
I'm not watching this shit.
But maybe he loves it. I don't know. I just haven't seen him in here yet. What do you think about this one, Alex? Sam says, "Welcome to the Alex of Star Trek, Tom Paris." Yes, I am joking. But I really see a lot of parallels between Alex and Tom, including the daddy issues. I am very curious if Alex will like or reject him. I love him. In all of my Star Trek, I'm assuming you mean, Star Trek bridge crews over the decades, there is always Tom Paris at the helm. There is no more badass pilot. Sorry, Sulu. What do you think about that? I guess Sulu was the pilot, yeah.
I guess he wasn't that. He was a little bit cocky in this episode, but not ridiculous. But do I come off that way?
When you were younger, not fully like this, but a little bit.
When I first started wrestling, yeah, I had a bit of an attitude.
Or I would say even high school. And I don't even saying just attitude. I just mean like in terms of like
once
like a chill, just like a street smart kind of guy, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, once I started working out in high school, because sophomore, freshman year, I was kind of, but once I started working out and started, pushing back against people.
And you joined the wrestling team?
And I joined the wrestling team. I said, yeah, fuck these people. Oh, my favorite story in high school ever. There's this guy I went to high school with who's kind of a dick, didn't like him. And the story in high school about people turning their shoulders in the hallway and all that. And there was this guy, he wasn't really paying attention. He was looking off to the right, and we're in this tight hallway, and all I can think was, oh, I'm not moving my shoulder for him. So I just tensed my shoulder real tight, and as we're getting closer walking together, here I just go, boom! And just goes, man, what the fuck? And it's like, so what the fuck, man? And that's when I didn't even do anything. I just kept walking. Yeah, that made me feel good. And I'm 30 years old now.
30 years old, still telling that story?
living in my prime, baby, back in high school. But thanks for the kind words. I think you said some kind words about me. Oh, here's an interesting thought. Richard Stone. So a lot of people are talking about Tom Paris and Nick Locarno and all that, but Richard Stone says lots of people think that Tom Paris and Nick Locarno are the same character, but they're actually opposites. Locarno was at heart a devious, deceptive manipulator who presented himself as a star of the Academy. Paris was a guy who ultimately wanted to be decent and do the right thing, but he misguidedly put on this brash exterior that wasn't really him. Janeway sees that, which is why she takes a chance on him at the end of the episode. They sure do look similar, though. What do you think about that?
I'm not sure. You go first.
I think it's wrong. No. I mean, yeah, Nick Locarno was definitely manipulative and kind of a deceiver and kind of reckless. I mean, from what I can remember, what they told about Tom Paris is that he joined the Maquis to help people, right? Yeah, what was the story? I'm trying to remember the whole story.
In the First Duty?
Oh, no, with Tom Paris.
I'm going to be honest, we were so early in the episode and I was like getting my bearings, I didn't hear the full exposition. But just something along the lines of like, he joined the Maquis and then he turned them in.
Yeah.
Is what I got out of it.
Yeah, he left Starfleet, so I think he was a full-on Starfleet officer. He left to join the Maquis, and his very first mission, he got caught. Which is kind of similar with, I mean, not similar in the sense of joining the Maquis, but with Kim. That's his name, right, Kim? Kim, for first mission. This happens to him, so.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of if he's the same as Nick Locarno?
Yeah, like their morals and ideals.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that this is supposed to be that character of like, I'm not saying they just like headcanon that character and change his name. I'm saying like he's playing the same kind of character. So Nick Locarno was more villainous because of the role of that episode. But remember, he ends up taking the blame for everybody at the end.
He does, yeah.
So he ends up, even though he was shitty to Wesley, peer pressuring him in that one scene, what college student probably wouldn't try to get out of it the same way? He ends up taking the blame for all of them and being the only one that gets expelled. So here, Tom's similar in the sense of like, he doesn't do anything slimy or anything like that, but he's, he is what he is, and then he has that, I'm going to save your life, at the end with that guy, so.
Yeah, and you assume people join the Maquis to help people. What they think they're helping people.
Yeah, they think they're doing the right thing, like everyone in the world does, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting point. Fritz, so apparently after Kira, Belania, why do I keep saying like weird versions of her name? Belana Torres is the second character that was supposed to be Ro Laren, but Michelle Forbes turned them down again. Her defection to the Maquis was specifically written for Voyager. Now, I don't know that because we had already been told watching the episode that she was done with Star Trek and then read the script from Jerry Taylor and was like, okay, I'll come do this one last episode to write me off. I'm sure there's different versions of the story out there, but I'm absolutely excited for this. Well, in my honest opinion, DS9 is the best Star Trek series. Voyager is the one I love the most. Wow. The one that I watched from the very beginning when I was growing up. Being allowed to stay up longer to watch it, spending my pocket money on magazines with Voyager on them, buying candy that I didn't even like because it had Voyager stickers. This show defined my childhood. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you're excited, but what an interesting... I don't know if everyone's had anyone say, I think DS9 is the best Star Trek series, but Voyager I love the most. I think you're unique in that, Fritz. I like that.
That's an interesting way to put it, but of course, they wanted Michelle Forbes in this. They were desperate to get her back.
Hilarious if that's true.
I wonder if Jerry Taylor thought, okay, Michelle said she'll do just this one, but there's a chance if she shows up on set, I can convince her to do Voyager. Yeah, she was talented. I just wish we could tell her, hey, Michelle, we do this show for a couple seasons. When you're retired, you can do conventions until you die. You can go to Hollywood. Just come do this fucking show, please. You're really good.
Allie says, Kate Mulgrew is the best captain casting in the history of Star Trek. Shatner, Stewart, and Brooks all find their way eventually, but Mulgrew steps onto screen, and from moment one, she is confident and self-assured in a way that tells you exactly who she is.
I agree.
I agree 100% after this episode.
I mean, I was bought in right away. There was no moment where I thought, no,
no, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen at all.
I mean, Picard was just a sick old man for a whole season.
Picard was laying in bed, for an entire season.
I would argue I think Kirk was mostly there. He gets better for sure, but he was mostly there. And then Sisko, I started liking him a few episodes ago. No, Sisko's been cool, but
Sisko's
he's
great.
not a captain. No, Sisko's good. But I would agree, though, with that take.
I just had to get used to the way Avery Brooks talks. That was it. I just thought it was like I thought it was a conscious choice he was making, then I realized, oh, that's just Avery Brooks.
Yeah. And I'm still getting used to it. But it's
still,
good.
Still
getting
used to it. But I really love when he does that deep voice he does.
Oh, yeah, when he gets angry?
Or when he's... No, also when he gets excited, too, when he has that devious smile he does.
Oh yeah.
You've never tasted my cooking before. It's like, okay.
Things are going to change, Jadzia. Still the best.
One of my favorite hypothetical jokes ever. Got to read one of these. This happens every time. I appreciate all of you with your in-depth, smart, nuanced takes with interesting fun facts and personal stories, but I also always have to read one of these. From Prof Moth, my take, Voyager has started.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
I got to read one of those every time.
It has started. I want to say Image Maker, who signed up to Patreon today, specifically to leave this take. So, TOS, TNG, and DS9 are amazing, but Voyager holds a special place for me personally. In my opinion, it's the best pilot and best captain at the start of a series. Janeway has more presence and command than any captain before her at series launch. I'm glad I'm here to watch you enjoy or hate it. Well, I'm glad you will enjoy either way. It's my favorite series, even if it isn't the best series. I think there are a few characters and special guest actors that will blow you away. Enjoy the ride.
Another one, which is my favorite series, but not
Yeah.
the best.
I wonder, are fans of Voyager like not like afraid, but are they like, have they been beaten into submission of like, this isn't the best show, you idiot? So like they're all kind of like, okay, well, it's my favorite. It's like, first of all, great take. I'm glad you're here. But if that's your favorite, man, When something's my favorite, it's the best.
Yeah.
You know, Lessons is my favorite episode, so Lessons is the best episode.
Own it with your chest. Don't listen. As people who get beaten down every day for their opinions,
Every single day.
every single day of our lives, you have no idea what it's like. It's just fucking own it. Fucking own it.
Yeah.
This is the best series. It's the best series. It's your fucking opinion.
Yeah, if it's the best to you, then it's the best. You know?
Yeah.
For me,
Don't let these fucking nebulas and these pulsars and these shot-for-shot remakes of Best of Both Worlds, Inner Lights get you down.
yeah, for me, I would agree. I think Voyager's the best series. One episode, huh? But we shall see. And then to finish us off, Alex, I have no idea what this video is going to be, so let's hope it's not something crazy. But
oh boy!
But I trust it. Bridge crew member Guinevere, who also helped us with our new logo, so thank you very much, sent us this clip from our pre-Deep Space Nine discussion and said to watch it after watching this premiere of Voyager. So we're going to watch it and see what exactly it says. I have no idea.
Oh boy. Like Deep Space Nine, so I'm figuring, okay, it's out somewhere in this uncharted area of space. Maybe TOS, TNG, they were kind of going, not safe, but it's like a planned area. Maybe it opens up and fucking they enter in some sort of portal or something. They go into, similar to like the first Borg episode where they're sent like way out of fucking nowhere. Maybe they're sent way out there. And it's just like, where the fuck, what is going on? This is horrible. I hope it's something crazy like that.
Look at that. You pitched Voyager.
My mic's dead.
Oh, yeah. You pitched Voyager, like what, 8 months, 10 months before we started it?
Wrong about the show, but...
Oh, my God. I'm just imagining everyone watching that video back then now. Well, you got the show you wanted, Alex. We're here.
I did it.
So let's do it.
I did it. I manifested it. Oh, God.
We have Voyager 3 and 4 we're watching this week and are going to be posted this week. And then we'll be going back and forth once again, mostly alternating, but here and there are some, multiple episodes in a row of Voyager Deep Space Nine. And we're going to be doing that basically uninterrupted for the next 2 years. A couple times there will be a TNG movie. But besides that, this is our Star Trek journey for the next 2 years, Voyager and Deep Space Nine. So I'm really excited.
Let's fucking go.